later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Post-grad plus dumb ass equals podcast. Serious bullshit podcast.
Later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Post-grad plus dumb ass equals podcast. Serious bullshit podcast.
Later, articulators, new behavior. Talk about the shit, then research later.
Post-grad plus dumb ass equals podcast. Dude, you guys.
Are you dragging that shit all over the screen?
I was just jumping the logo. Yeah, that was fun. That was a one-time deal. You guys are only going to see that this time. A serious bullshit podcast on the Bass Grifters podcast network thing. Fucking, we got Andrew Locklair in the house tonight.
What up, man?
Hanging out, drinking coffees, chilling. Sterling's in the house.
This is a great mug.
It's a girl with a great fucking mug. I like this mug, but it's got waste connections of the Carolinas on it, so it's kind of this is kind of tainted by the waste connections. But it's a sweet ass mug. Yeah, we're just chilling right now, dude. If y'all want to get any more of this shit or support the boys, go to fucking basscripters.com.
That's a website.
You got a website or anything you want to promote?
No, I got an album on iTunes though.
All right, there you go.
It's called Kids Birthday Parties. It's mine. I did it, and I need the money back. It's on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify doesn't pay me shit because it's free.
Yeah, fuck Spotify, dude. What's up with that, man? Like, they really... I've heard, like, what's the Black Keys guy? I've heard him going off about it, saying that they get, like less than a penny or, like, some super fraction of a penny for each time someone plays your song. So unless you're getting, like, a fucking shitload of plays, you're just getting fucked.
Yeah, I feel like even someone as popular as Black Keys, like, as many plays as he probably gets, was it a penny or a fraction of?
It's a fraction of. Like, it was some insane number of, like, what?
Whoever came up with that was a bitch that watched Office Space and was like, I get it.
Oh, shit.
No, you don't get Jennifer Aniston. You didn't learn anything, and you'd have to learn your lesson before the end of the movie. You wouldn't get her in the first place.
Yep.
God damn, it's called
character
development.
That's one of my fucking favorite movies.
You guys know what a gross domestic product is?
GDP?
Yeah, I'm supposed to because I'm taking marketing.
I thought that was some Pornhub shit.
Isn't
that was a category?
The total amount of a product that is produced?
It's the gross. It's the
grandma DP, dude.
Oh shit! I was trying to answer.
That's what I heard, dude. What's up? What brings you to?
Because so basically, if you look into GDP in the countries with the highest GDP, so it's the measure of a country's wealth, essentially. What you find is that one of the highest correlated things is property rights. And so, like, when you make something, do you own it? And I've been thinking about the way that that's changed music just with the internet, and that when you make these things, you're not making as much money on it. The properties rights aren't as strong as it used to be. And is that affecting our ability to make good music?
You mean like the people that can make good art don't have the means to distribute it properly or do whatever, or what?
No, so think about, like, let's say you start a business, but the government doesn't support your business, and you're building it up, but it's going to get taken away from you. You have less incentive to build up that business and make it really good. So when you don't have property protection rights, when your property isn't protected and you can't make money off the goods that you're producing, you're less incentivized to produce it. So that
explains all the shitty songs that are...
Well, no. Well, that explains why, because they're so incentivized right now to make it, right? But I think that, I don't know, man, most creative people would probably just do it.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of
creative people
they want to.
Look, all right, so... Listen, I try to do stand-up, and I want to do it professionally, but I say, without a doubt, creative people are also stupid people who think they'll make it. So
this is people that think they're smart.
Yeah, they think they have a
it.
chance, like you and 1,000 other people just in your stupid-ass high school alone are also trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If you're trying to be creative, I feel like it's just sometimes it's like a personal endeavor, like you're just trying to express yourself or whatever it is that people do. Like, you don't get a great album, like a Black Sabbath album, because they wanted to get some money. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? Yeah.
Maybe later in the career for a lot of people.
But whenever you record an album, like, it's kind of in your head, but when you write the song, your first thought, because you're a poor band, is you're thinking about yourself and how you won't express it, and then you're thinking about the audience because they're the only people that get you where, and then you're gonna think that motherfucking profit. That's why every '80s album has that cover song that just kicks ass and it goes right into that power ballad.
Yeah, that power ballad sells that shit out. They're like, you gotta have it, or you can't really make the rest of your CD. A lot of music was the same at that time.
Property rights, like back in the '70s when they were all the Vietnam sort of protests were going on, the music then was debatably, certainly arguably better than it is today. I mean,
dude, I always wondered about like is that really truly subjective? Like, is art truly subjective? Like, can you look at something like a clear box in in LA and like it's just like on a pedestal and it's just a clear square cube and they're like, this is fucking art, and it's like, can you say that that's not art?
How clear is it?
Yes.
Yes. How about that, cocksuckers?
Modern art is hot garbage in a dumpster fire. Literally, someone has probably made hot garbage in a dumpster fire and called it modern art.
I wouldn't doubt. I'm sure that is. That's definitely a thing somewhere, dude.
There's
like a stick homeless guy next to it, made out of wire.
Of all the musicians that are trying really hard to make it, but like need the exposure, I want to know that there's someone out there who's just trying to make it as a modern artist that is looking for exposure, and all he's got is like Snapchat or Instagram of like half-eaten breakfast, and then all these other white chicks start doing it. He's like, damn it, I gotta move on to the next thing, and then it's his frappuccino.
You just can't be modern enough.
Yeah,
I've got to be a little bit more fucking into this shit.
Like, he's such a
next
loser.
Next level. Most avant-garde. What was your rant about, Sterling?
Oh yeah.
So there's this push right now that we're going into where people, and I'm sure that everyone is familiar with, about buying local, right, and supporting local business and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's familiar with that. So it turns out that economic theory is actually is very old, and it's known as mercantilism. And so mercantilism was really big before.
I thought that was just a skill.
No, mercantilism is an economic.
Bro, that's
theory.
real. Hey, dog, that's real.
Mercantilism was like.
Yo, bro, mercantilism is real, dude.
I thought mercantilism was just like the science of getting out of a sketchy situation, perhaps murky, if you will.
It's mercantilism, which is murking people.
That's what I'm here for.
All right.
So it's a lot of older countries, they practice this thing where essentially they had a fixed pie. There's a pie and there's one size, and so essentially countries would try to make everything. They would not they would try to maximize their export so they could bring in more and more, essentially gold, right, and get as much of the pie as possible. But then Adam Smith and some other guy who I can't remember came along in his in The Wealth of Nations and argued for a new economic theory known as absolute advantage. And then there's also comparative advantage. And what he argued was that this fixed pie scenario isn't the correct way to look at it. And if every country focused on what they were more efficient at making and then traded the things that they were less efficient with other countries that were more efficient at that thing, that everyone could actually grow the pie and everyone would end up having more stuff. And he showed through some examples that this is true. And so that became the new theory that's led to the globalization of our society and increased trades and decreased tariffs, because tariffs are a hindrance to importing stuff. So this push that makes so much sense at first when you think about it, to buy local and support your local economy, isn't necessarily always good. And this is in my opinion. I've been thinking about it more and more, because what you end up doing is supporting inefficiencies in your society. So I'll give an example of where it does and doesn't make sense to me. So I'll use a coffee shop where essentially in this coffee shop, they roast their beans locally, and maybe having that atmosphere and be able to go there it provides utility to me and that I find useful. But going there and then buying a coffee maker that I could buy for cheaper on Amazon, I would call that an unnecessarily buying local to support that local business, because I'm supporting inefficiencies in the system.
Wait, what? So you're saying that you would be supporting efficiency in the system if you just bought some shit off Amazon and brewed it at the house, or what?
Yeah, so no.
Dude, all right, so then wait. Listen. Have you ever successfully brewed a coffee at your house that tasted anything like a coffee you've ever bought at a coffee shop?
Yeah.
Do tell. No.
Bullshit, dude. I've never in my life been able to pull that off, and I've tried a lot of different shit to make lattes and shit like that at the house, dude. And Sterling, I remember that one time you melted down white chocolate in fucking Atlanta, you cocksucker, and you fucking were like, I'm gonna make you guys a badass latte, and it still wasn't as good as fucking.
I think I fucked up that day.
Dunkin' Donuts fucking regular ass latte.
Hey, that's cool.
When I was saying yes, I was talking
Dunkin',
about black,
bro.
I was talking
Dunkin'.
about black coffee. I was talking about black coffee.
Okay.
Not lattes.
Well, yeah.
Look, we just described Starbucks and Starbucks other Starbucks.
Yeah,
I think your key demographic is going to go for the latte over the black here.
Yeah, if you're also going to Starbucks and just getting black coffees or whatever, you're kind of savage, dude.
If you're going to Starbucks,
all I drink
you better
is
be getting
black
espresso.
Coffee,
You're
your
paying
budget is amazing.
Well, I always thought you were just paying for the espresso machine to not have to worry about that bullshit at your house. You're basically paying $4 for some motherfucker to have to take that thing apart, clean it, deal with all the nasty milk shit that gets stuck up in there that you don't want to fuck with at your house, and then you know what I mean. He's gonna have to deal with it, and you don't. So that's worth $4 every time you want to go pay for one. I've had an espresso machine. It just went. I just stopped fucking wanting to clean it.
There's too many knobs. I like
bullshit.
it. It's shiny.
Yeah,
and,
it was great at first.
The one I'm
times.
picturing is.
Yeah. 4 times it was nice.
No, just that one scene in the Green Hornet made me be like, I will never understand these systems.
What's that?
When he just like makes the espresso.
Oh, see.
Sorry, that was a really deep reference to a movie no one gave a shit about seeing.
No, it's cool. I'm not the movie guy, dude. I will I'm gonna look like an asset after every movie reference, but I'm sure
this is not the
get it.
Yeah, me too. This is not the movie podcast. We're not the movie guys.
Jesus Christ, Sterling, what the fuck?
It's Cookie Talk podcast.
Hey, bro, this is Cookie Talk podcast. Actually, we talk mostly cookies.
We talk cookies.
What's your cookie, bro?
Oh, like if you, I've only had it a few times, but mint chocolate chip dog.
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh,
like the Girl Scout.
Man after my own heart.
No, like instead of chocolate chips, there's mint chips. And then the cookie itself is also like fudge or chocolate or whatever.
Oh.
And like I'm alone painfully all the time, so I've started cooking a lot more. This week I made chicken cordon bleu.
Yeah.
And I don't even have like it. Yeah, it's. I'll send you the recipes. It's dope. It only takes like 35 minutes. But like I don't even have the stuff to make what I'm cooking. Like for the chicken, you have to mash it to make it thinner. Yeah. I just put a plastic bag over a hammer and just kind of flat face it down. I forgot my point.
I forgot. I don't know, dude. You were just. I was literally. I was hammering that fucking. I was like, man, I fucking love fucking tenderizing some chicken.
Cookie talk. No.
And so now, like I cook and I look up recipes to make your own cookie dough, then I'm making mint chocolate chip cookies. I'll bring some to one of the open mics.
All right, dude. I'll smash, dude. Last time I had some cookies that somebody made, they were dry as fuck. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, dude, I love baking. I made a cheesecake this week. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, I like. This is why everyone thinks I'm gay. But now that I have
like cheesecake. Oh, you can tell them to go fuck themselves, dude. Tell them they're gay. If somebody calls you gay for making cheesecake, be like, man, you're fucking gay, dude. Fuck off. Yeah.
No, it's just I love baking. And, well, I use that voice. No, but like each week I've baked like 2 different desserts because that's how I want to occupy my time.
As long as you're not like baking your dick in it.
I got a cake display for the weekly pastry that I'm gonna be making. Like that's
what's up.
I live with another dude.
Is he just like, man, you making brownies again, bro? What's up?
Like,
what's up with all these brownies,
he wants
dude?
to like, eat healthier, and I'm just constantly making pastries.
Is there anything healthy that you can bake?
Chicken cordon bleu.
Chicken cordon bleu. Whoa, dude. What was that?
A subscriber or something?
Yeah, somebody's hosting us or something. That's what's up.
Oh,
something's going on here.
The madness.
Live feed.
Something's going on in the madness, dude.
Madness, dude. Oh, there it is. Live.
All right, wait, were we in the middle of something? Because if not,
yeah, dude, I was gonna tell.
Okay, go.
We were in the middle of a previous rant, but I did want to bring up mint Dobish Tort cakes while we were talking about mint chocolate chips. Now Christian has had these things before.
What's a mint Dorbish Tort cake? Is that what you just said?
Remember? Yeah, mint Dobish Tort.
Oh, I thought this was like a paid ad, and you were like really into it.
I wish, dude. I wish.
Sell these.
That sounds fun though. What's up?
No, you'll do it before. It's that weird cake I get at Christmas, right? And it's got layers of chocolate cake and mint, layers of chocolate, and it's got the hard chocolate shell. Christian,
I've had it. You said?
Yeah, I've given it to you like a couple years.
Really?
Oh well, Christian doesn't remember anything. But it's a tight cake.
I just don't remember anything about fucking cakes, dude. What the hell? I don't know, man. I wasn't gonna be like, I don't really like mint that much, so it probably wasn't like I'm not gonna remember the rest of my life. It's like it's cool to delve every now and then, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, that one cake that Sterling gave me that one time, I'll never forget it.
Hey, Chorzo said hi.
I know. What's up, Chorzo?
What's up? Sorry, I interrupted you.
What's up, emo killers?
I do appreciate it.
Andrew would have, if I would have given that to Andrew, he would have been like, dude, remember that mint chocolate cake? So I'm just saying, Christian.
All right, I don't, but so tell us about it. Listen, all right, this is relatable. This is related. I was just listening to this. I was just listening to this fucking Radio Lab, dude. This guy had like this thing. First of all, do you guys know about these cows that they have at like universities that have a fucking hole in them that they have like a cork in, bro? That you pop the cork out and you can literally stick your arm all the way inside their guts and inside their stomach and feel all their intestines as they move and shit.
They got 5 stomachs, dog.
Yeah, you guys know about this shit?
No.
Well, they literally uncork a fucking cow's side. You can just dig right in the side of it. It's just a giant hole in the side of a cow. Anyway, and it's alive. It's fucking... First off, how is that legal, dude? To keep that cow like that, dude? To fucking cut a cow open like that? That just sounds crazy, though. But nobody's like, where's Pete at? Like, I never hear him freaking out about that. That's a weird one, man.
Because I think that's actually like probably an issue that maybe shouldn't be done. But if PETA was like, you shouldn't do this, everyone would start doing it because fuck PETA.
Yeah, that's right. Just everybody's like, well, let me get in there just to prove a point.
Bro, even your bread's kind of disappointing.
Fucking, but yeah, dude. People are just sticking their arm in it and like fucking its guts all the time with their fucking arm. Like it gets fisted daily, dude.
That wasn't what
people
they were
come from around the world to just stick their arm in this fucking poor cow, dude. I feel bad for that cow. Anyway, I'm not normally like that, dude. But just that particular situation
what's
sounds.
What's the class for?
What's that?
What's the class for?
I have no fucking
They study
how what do you call it? Anatomy class or something.
Yeah, cows eat a bunch of different shit. They got 5 stomachs. It's pretty interesting, and they study how it digests stuff. And it's also important because we're eating so many cows. I mean, I'm sure you guys have had a cow meat within the last couple of days.
Yes.
We eat so much cows. We just want to understand.
Bison.
But that's why it's legal, is because we're trying to understand what's going on in here. What are we eating?
Yeah. See, if it's something like that, like I'm not against it. I'm sure that because I actually did a course like that once.
What's that?
Gut a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're pretty much overdosed. It's not like the cow's standing up and they're just like, don't move, Bessie. And she says, because they have a repertoire. No, the cow's pretty much put under.
No, not in this thing. Dude, this literally on the Radio Lab, the lady said.
Oh, so it was
the lady said
Bessie?
The cow's just calm and chilling. She's like, and I'm like, oh, my God, freaking out while I'm sticking my arm inside of it. It's like just this cow's chilling, bro. It's used to it at this point. Like
oh wait, they keep using. Well, I guess no, don't use more cows.
It's a cow in a school somewhere with a cork in the side of it. Wait, that people pop out while it's awake and stick their fucking arms inside.
So my Bessie conversation was on point. They have a repertoire because they've been there.
Pretty much, dude. That people are literally fisting it fucking elbow deep into this cow. Anyway, so then it gets to this story about this guy who gets something similar in his stomach and he can't eat food anymore. He has to like have this outside stomach deal that he used to digest food, and he like goes for a really long time with like watching his family. They go and they eat a meal, and he has to sit on the couch and just like have this thing fucking eat for him, basically, dude. And he just starts like freaking out. Like he starts like losing his mind. He said like all he could think about was eating food, and like all he could think about was like just having a good meal. Past meals that he's had, he would like daydream about and shit. And he said one time he just went into the kitchen and like went to pick up some fries and like put them in his mouth, and he couldn't even taste it, dude. And he just tried to eat it anyways. And anyway, the dude like fucking went on, almost died or something, and then eventually they were like, the only way you're gonna be able to live is if you can process food, so just try it anyway. And he fucking starts eating it, and he can hold it down. And then I guess he had to like rebuild his taste buds or something. But
awesome.
What if you could never taste or eat food? Just eat again. Like I take this shit for granted. Like I thought about it for a minute. I was like, man, how good is it? Like I just got some pizza today. Shouts out to Bertolo's. It's the best slice I've found so far in Greenville. But
oh shit, I need to get dinner. I got leftover cordon bleu, so I'm good.
Oh yeah, you got the blue.
It's just dry now because it's been in the fridge. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, like fuck, dude. Something about a good slice.
What if you could never eat
if you could never eat it.
Oh yeah. So literally, I was like, holy fuck, this like I was really looking forward to it when I got off of work and everything too. And I was like, man, could never have that again. Like that would probably drive you crazy after a while. Just seeing people eat and going places, people just being like, "Oh my God, this is so good." And you're just like, you just got like this thing in your stomach. You just got to sit there, man. Like, do you think that you would still? Wow, bro, what's going on out there?
It's really scary.
He's literally in a government facility. We've been trying to figure out for a while now where he might be. What do you think? Oh, where do you think he's at?
Fuck Detroit.
That sounds like Detroit right now, bro. But yeah, dude, like I was just, I don't know, I was blown away by that. I never, ever, ever thought about what if I couldn't eat, and like how much that would seriously suck, and like how hard would it be to fend off depression and like being resentful to people, and like I
feel like not being able to eat, it'd be one of those things like you take it for granted. Like fucking blind people who can eat are just like, nah, I really wish I could see. So that, like, you mean you just can't taste anything, everything else functions fine.
No, you can't even put the food in your mouth, dude. You can't eat. Like, you can't satisfy.
Aren't scientists trying to get us to that point?
I don't know. Like, what if? I don't know. That seems like it would be bad.
Aren't scientists anything?
It's
and the
so primal.
You
yes. Probably just want to consume something. Like, you just want to eat something. I don't know.
I feel like that's weird. What, like, people be upset about it, but at the same time, like, it's a big deal, but it's not the biggest one. It's one oh, I can't eat. And then a fat person's just like, I wish I had that problem. Like, take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, shit, a fat person might be like might miss it the most. Like, even if it has nothing to do with, like, your body weight, like, you just can't enjoy a fucking meal anymore, dude. Like, how good is it to go, like, have a specific meal somewhere? Like,
don't drag that into this. This isn't
need
to be depressing.
Smoke?
He's holding a cigarette right now.
Yeah, like, where's the lighter, bro?
It's not a prop. I think it's over there. You can hop up.
No, I meant for this hypothetical person who can't eat now. Can they also They can still smoke? I guess they can still smoke. They can definitely, because their lungs are separate.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I was imagining their mouth and their taste buds not working. But that's wrong. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, they just wouldn't be able to taste the cigarettes, but they would still, I guess, get the effects of the nicotine.
Yeah, I think that eating is so social that it'd be very difficult. I mean, think about the last time that you went out with anyone or did anything social. It probably involved consuming either food or drink of some sort. So it's an extremely social thing, which makes it the most difficult thing.
I wonder if he could drink. I'm curious about that now. If he couldn't eat anything, I'm sure he couldn't drink alcohol, right?
He could probably do, like, you ever hear about, like, how they outlawed inhaling alcohol? You know how you used to be able to take it and drop alcohol on dry ice and then inhale it? So he could like, yeah. They used to be like, people used to get,
that was a thing? It was like a drug thing?
Yeah,
definitely Detroit.
They'd get butt housed.
Butt housed, dude. Have you ever heard the term butt housed before? Apparently it's a Sublime thing.
No, my parents loved me.
Butt housed, dude. Apparently it's a Sublime thing. The band. If you got to be deep into that world.
He said,
like, you never even saw him. You just got really deep into it for a while just because you smoked a lot
of
weed and did a lot of drugs for a minute. It's like Sublime was the go-to band for that at that
Still
time.
Still love them, dude. I was karaokeing some Sublime.
I mean, you can't.
Gotta have a Sublime guy when you go out for karaoke night. If you don't, your crew is lacking.
Yeah, I like that.
Your crew's lacking.
Who made a rant about Sublime. Of why we should never listen to that band, because supporting Sublime is just supporting jocks, because that's all they fucking are.
Jocks?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Who said that?
Fucking losers.
Comic that you should Google, because he earned it.
Go ahead. I don't care.
But
shouts out to anybody.
I don't fucking know his name. I saw this when I was in high school.
No.
That doesn't make sense, because they're losers. They're like normal musicians.
Are they jocks?
High school? No, they're not jocks.
Their songs represent like the Californian douchebag. I don't know why I always pick up that accent.
I don't know, man. I think you might have gotten the wrong squeeze on Sublime, bro.
His bit is way better than my explanation of the bit.
Well, yeah, I'll give it that. I guess the humor is like lost to just the point of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I only read it because it had a picture. Like,
I got
what I'm into.
All right. Oh yeah, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was fucking. I've been at work recently, dude, and I work in a kitchen. So I work with people that are like coming into the workforce, people that have been in it for a long time and shit.
Yeah.
And dude, there's just a lot of fucking people that like just don't.
I see why you're here.
They don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I don't know if they don't. I know they don't give a fuck about the job, dude. But it's like they don't give a fuck about the other like people there anymore, dude. And there's like what the youth has does. I think there is something in the water with like the youth being lazier, or
turning the freaking frogs gay.
They're turning the freaking but seriously though, man, like, cause I was analyzing myself. I was like, man, is it just me getting old and crotchety? I was like, man, I'm not that fucking old. Like, I've worked hard for my boys. Like, for anybody, like, I wouldn't fucking leave my friend in a shitty position. You know what I mean? Like, at a job. But it seems like people will just do that now.
No, I worked at a Applebees when I first moved here, and like I like just gotten out of the military, so I was still like really intense.
Yeah.
And, like, I made people cry.
What? Kid? Like younger
dudes?
It.
I want to hear some of these. I want to hear that
story. Let's hear some cries. Yeah.
Because these people would just come in, and there's one person who lived somehow across the street from the Applebees.
Yeah.
And she refused to use the Applebee's restroom, so whenever she's like, I gotta pee, and she would just go to her fucking house. And all these people would be like, don't serve my table. I don't want to. And then, like, I would just be like, no, you're next in the line. I was a greeter or whatever. What's up? That was my job. And
you just go, what's up? And they're like, all right. Yeah. And you're like, all right, go get the table over there. Yeah. You can that lady over there will seat you. I'm just the Greek guy. I'm just here at the
these
door.
Little 18-year-olds who think their life matters when they haven't lived long enough to justify they have one. Like, you just were able to vote, and you weren't even good at it. And then, like, and they would just like bitch about stupid things. Like, one person got mad at me because they got a $1 tip, and I was just like, what am I, the fucking tip genie? Go to school. Like,
you didn't tip genie him, didn't you?
No, and then they'd be like, why'd you seat me with these people? Because you were next. Or why didn't you seat me? Because you see all the table with all the shit still on it? Yeah, that's not my job. I'm not going to do it for you like the other greeters will.
People are like, why is this guy a greeter? He's fucking
and then,
angry. Why are they have him greeting people? He should be in the back.
Like, somebody just refused. Somebody started to refuse to do their job, or refused to show up on time. They were a pain in the ass and wouldn't do their tables or whatever. And I essentially was just like, figure it out or leave. I don't personally give a shit. You're at an Applebee's. You're expendable. And then she cried, and I was like, oh, I think she learned something. And then I chilled out, but I hate. Like, the whole thing, you should always tip your waitress. I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Because they're they're working hard for, no, not that one. That one spit in your food because she didn't like the way you walked in. They're fucking terrible. Applebee's.
Dude, yeah, I've seen some gnarly shit. I don't even want to break the cook's code.
Yeah.
But I've seen some shit in the day, dude. Some potentially dangerous, life-threatening shit for no reason. Really, for little reason, I've seen extreme measures be taken. Raw chicken level measures be taken on someone for very little. I mean, you wouldn't believe.
That's a ballsy move to get away with, because you can taste raw chicken.
I haven't done it. I have honor. I would never. Fuck that, dude. I would never put that on my fucking conscience.
By order of the mace.
I'm not talking about. I'll go ahead and just say it doesn't matter. Statute of limitations is probably. I'm talking about slathering raw chicken juice on a cooked piece of chicken.
Oh fuck.
I'm talking about very sinister shit from an unlikely character for like I said, little reason for that type of reaction. But the girl just came back and said, I want you to fuck this up as much as you fucking can. So I don't know what this guy did. He might have fucking done something horrible, but I doubt it was that. Doubt it was that bad.
No, I think the biggest issue is growing up in the 90s, you were the last generation that didn't grow up with access to literally everything. Video games weren't really that big, and if they were, you'd still go outside. People weren't getting kidnapped left and right, so your parents would be like, once the lights turn on, come back home. Or the kid across the street, his deal was his dad had the whistle of the gods, and 3 blocks over, we hear the whistle and be like, all right, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
And
so
no one did that.
That can do this thing, this whistle.
No hands.
No hands?
Yeah, I envy this man.
I got a weird. I'm like, the guys that can do that usually pretty rapey.
He's a tough dude.
I'm just saying, dude.
He had a crew cut.
I'm just saying, dude. Think about it next time. Be like, does that guy have a couple beers and get gropey? Because that's the kind of guy that knows how to do that whistle real good.
But so you go outside, and part of being outside is you're gonna scrape your knee.
I don't know. Just
and then eventually you scrape your knee enough to where you don't cry about it.
Yeah.
And then you go outside, or it starts raining. Things go wrong, and you're just like, I'm dirty. But that's what happens, or whatever. Sorry, I kept hiccup burping.
No, you're good. You're good.
And
I burp and fart.
And so we were the last people to grow up with that, so we're still kind of ready for disappointment. And the people who came in not even that long, but a few years after us, they don't know what disappointment is. They don't know how it's like to be told no, because once we or the people right before us or us became parents, like we didn't know how to say no to your kids because there's not an app for that. And so kids just get whatever they want, and then when they go whatever, they think that it's their fucking world. Like, I went into Applebees knowing, like, this is a job I got because I've been unemployed for X amount of months now.
Like,
somebody
you know probably
expendable.
vouched for you. Somebody you know probably vouched for you, and you can't let them down. Like, I've had
there's
friends
some policy
way
implications
back
in
let
there.
me down. What's that?
There's some policy implications in there because Jeff Sessions is pushing the just say no to drugs. I think you should have the just say no to your kids.
Yeah, I'm on it, man.
No to your kids.
Just say no.
Like, people can't raise dogs, so that's how I know they can't raise kids.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Like, I have a dog. She's really well trained because I know what I'm doing, and I finally brought her home, and my mom watched me give her a treat, which we have a ritual, like, you don't do anything until I say so.
Yeah.
So she sees the treat, she sits, she shakes, lays down, and then I just throw the treat across the room, and she looks at me waiting for the word, and I walk away, tell her to come to me, she comes to me, and then I tell her to go to the treat. And my mom's like, how'd you get her to do that? I'm like, I beat the shit out of her. And she's like, that's not okay. I was like, that's literally how it's done. I've said that to a vet, and she was like, yeah, that's pretty much.
So what do? You just beat the shit out of the dog, dude?
No, I don't actually.
I
just say that
yourself
because
right
I
now
like,
on this podcast, bro.
Like, I'm a big fan of Atlanta, or whenever that was.
The Mike Vick era?
Was that him? I don't know why I was thinking Terrell Owens.
Guy.
I don't watch sports. I'm too busy baking.
I got all of the dogfighting references right up here,
like,
bro.
It's a discipline thing. Like, whenever my dog would walk into a room, I had to walk in first. She wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
And one thing I did is my roommates were not allowed to, like, touch my dog in any way, shape, or form for a couple months until she listened to me completely.
Yeah.
So that way she knows she will not run to anyone. There's a dog barking at her from across the street. She just looks at me, and I'm like, I didn't give the go-ahead. And so, like, I'd be the one to feed and drink her.
As hard as
feed
I
and drink her. I'd feed her and give her water. And then so she eventually became loyal. But whenever she didn't do anything right, first of all, you're not getting your food or water until you do it correctly. And second, like, don't hit a puppy in the side. They're really tiny. Worse than the cork. It'll fuck up their organs. And so you bap them on the ass or you bop them on the nose. And if they get bigger, you have to hit harder.
Well, I don't know. I've never raised a dog. I only have cats. If I bought my cat in the head, he'd probably kick my ass.
Yeah.
If I crawl on my arm, fucking scratch my fucking head up.
There any more comments?
It might be outside. What's up?
I'm checking for comments. I don't know how life works. Oh shit, there are.
There's
Someone's a vegetarian because they don't trust.
Someone's
meat
a
production.
vegetarian because they don't trust meat production in high school.
It doesn't save you. There's
Mike
some
was
dirty
wondering
lettuce.
if-
In
Mike was
US,
wondering if
sorry,
there's a pedophile on that. Is there a pedophile on that?
There's probably a pedophile on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Pull that up.
Pull up the pedophile.
Pull up the pedophile on on the vegetarian trust and meat productions. All right, let's see what else I had here. Hang on.
I was gonna say there's that lady
fucking
on Joe Rogan who was talking about being the dom of your dog. Did you hear that, Christian? Or do you listen to Joe, Andrew?
Oh yeah, you're
No.
talking about Whitney Cummings.
Yeah, I think so.
She seemed like a real dominating chick.
Yeah,
She seemed like she wanted to do
is.
that to a man. That's why she's single. Dudes don't know what they're getting into. Like, they're like, oh sweet, I'm dating Whitney Cummings, and then little do they know they're in like a dungeon later, fucking getting like whipped and gaped.
What did I do?
Some people are into their things, and then you just
Whipped and
just
gaped.
roll with it.
You're that new Cannibal Corpse album that's coming out, dude? Whipped and gaped. It's gonna be dope.
I know nothing.
What was it? Oh yeah, dude. Did you guys know that fucking caterpillars, when they make their cocoon, that they just disintegrate into like an ooze, and then they turn into a butterfly?
Yes.
As like they reform like they're in a womb. Did you know that, Sterling?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And they've done tests on it. Like they would shock the caterpillar to get it to be afraid of this one specific thing, and then when it came out a butterfly, it would still use the same stimulus. So it goes into mush, and then it comes back fully formed, but with memory.
But like with the memories that it had from before. But like, literally, if you cut it open, it's just like a ooze that comes out. Like there's no legs, there's none of that shit. It doesn't just like grow into something else while it's in there. I thought that was fucking crazy, dude. What in the fuck? kind of shit is that?
I don't know.
Blew my mind. Look at Sterling. He's literally like, no, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
That's exactly what I was doing earlier. I was like, what, man? How's that even possible?
See,
but it's just like a womb, right? I mean, just like a baby would form in a womb. It just kind of turns into its own womb.
It goes through that cycle at a separate point.
It has itself.
Yeah.
Are they asexual?
So you think that if humans could go into a cocoon, what would we emerge as? Would we be like stars when we came out? Would we be angels when we came out?
Did you say pirates?
I said centaurs.
Centaurs.
Oh, God,
angels, centaurs, those sound dope. What about elves? We could be elves. Cool.
I think if you could go into a cocoon, it'd be called a coma. And
come out, Terry Schiavo.
And I really like sleep.
Ooh. Trying to melt.
Then it's a really relaxing coma. You just melt in it. And,
so good.
Yeah.
Not the same. I want to be a centaur or something when I get out.
Dude, just say you want to be a centaur. Just be a fucking centaur, man.
Yeah, when you just be whatever you want.
Doesn't work like that.
Dude, you're in like a liquidy ooze. You can be whatever you want, bro.
Dude, just identify. It's fine.
Yeah, man. You just identify in the cocoon, bro, and you'll become whatever you want. That's the way humans are going to be, dude. Literally, that's the only solution to all this gender stuff, all the, like, the way we're trying to have nuanced fucking ways of looking at each other, man. We just all go into a cocoon and come out as whatever the fuck we want, dude.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Everybody gets to be whatever the fuck they're feeling.
You have your first gig tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Like stand-up?
Mm-hmm.
So first first booking, first paid, what do you mean?
All that.
How long you been stand-up?
7 months. 8 months.
Okay. All right.
Something like that.
I don't know. I didn't know people when I got here, so I just assumed people had been doing it either for too long or just started, and you can pick those fuckers up.
Is that me?
No. That's why I was confused. I was like, when you said first gig, I was like, first gig?
No,
all right,
it's
adorable. Where's it at?
It's at Got Rocks.
Oh shit, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be interesting.
He's gonna have a show at Got Rocks
tomorrow night. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. There it is.
On Eventbrite.
Have you ever given any thought to what, like, cause it's gonna happen eventually? You're gonna have the option of doing a clean show.
Nah, I can't do it. Literally, my stutter words are fucks.
No, it's really hard. I've done 2 clean shows. The first time, I just did the same masturbatory material. I just didn't say fuck as much, and I was told that I couldn't do it again. And I did it a second time because that person forgot what he told me. And it was a family show on base, and I was like, cool. I just walked to it, and I was thinking about it. Like the first thing I did, because it's a family show, there were like actually kids there and their moms, and then their dads are deployed, so it's just the kids and the moms. So the first thing I said was just, that's for the kids, and then they laughed, and it worked somehow.
Of course, yeah.
And the guy who went on before me, Jason Pepper, he's another comedian. He's got an Instagram page. I'm hooking up the homies, and like he was wearing a tracksuit, and as soon as he got off the stage, I was just like, Peps, like, you don't have to wear a tracksuit. This is in Alabama. And all the adults laughed. The kids laughed because they understood that was the point of the joke, but they didn't understand why. So, like, it just warmed everything. Like, kids figure out timing. They know when to laugh. And then I just did the same, like, adult material, but just, like, the ones about, like, marriage and stuff like that. And then, but I did one joke at the end, and I shouldn't have done. It's just a, like, real quick, it works, and it gets me off stage. I have a friend whose nickname is Bambi, because his mom got shot. And, like, he hates it because I'm the only one who calls him Bambi. But he tries to make me feel bad. But my mom's alive. I have that over him. It's because my cup is half full. It's because she's still there to fill it. And I said that. And then 2 weeks later, I went golfing. And an old lady who was there with her grandkids, she recognized me from the show. I was like, oh, fuck. And then she was like, no, the first thing my grandkids did when they came home is they ran to their dad and said they call their friend Bambi because his mom's dead. And I was like, oh, shit. That's the last time I ever did a family-friendly show. But, yeah, it's for the kids. Kill moms.
No, yeah, dude.
I don't want to quote that.
That sounds horrifying to me. That's like something that if you're a good writer, you can write a funny set that's like clean or whatever, man. Yeah. But I rely heavily on in the moment, like outbursts of something I think of there while I'm talking about it. That's when I get the biggest laughs. Dude.
Well, I mean, I've gotten it to where I improv a little bit more on stage now because it is more fun that way. But most of the bits, like when this is a finalized bit, I have it written down word for word.
Yeah.
And for like family-friendly shows, I just memorize absolutely everything. And know like here, take a breath, here, count to 3, just so I have the natural pauses because it's so robotic and memorized.
Do you like switch words like with like ass to butt?
No, I don't write jokes with profanity in it.
Do you go ass to butt? Kiss and nut?
No.
Ass the butts and kiss the nuts? Sorry, go ahead, dude.
I'm thinking about the like ass
Taking
to
that
butt,
in. Yeah.
but still kissing
actually,
nuts.
The true saying is nuts to nut, nut to nut, and kissing butts.
Oh, okay, that makes geographically on a person. Anatomically, that makes more sense to me.
Geographically on the person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I would memorize every single thing, so that way when I did do it, I would know the next sentence, the next word, whatever. So I wouldn't be like, and so fucking, and I would just get rid of all the pet words.
Yeah.
But I still did the same thing, like, oh, being a husband is like this, being a wife is like this. So I've been told no one stays around long enough. And then so the parents enjoyed it. The kids understood the premise of some of the jokes, and they laughed, and they just love dead mom jokes. Because they're just like, we just got over our dead baby jokes, and now it's payback.
Yeah. I don't think kids have no concept of, like, impending.
I think it's
their impending
the Bambi
doom.
thing.
They have no concept of their own impending doom or the impending doom of everyone around them, so it's still funny to them.
I think it's 8 or 9. Weirdly, someone I work with takes psychology right now, and we just talked about this. 8 or 9 years old is when kids start to realize that death is, like, you can die.
Yeah. Usually
and then you don't come back.
Then.
Like, there's no barn or anything. It's just it's whatever you want it to be.
And then it's about 25 before you realize that, I can die really easily. Then you're like, oh shit, life like comes to a screeching halt.
No, this
changes
is
drastically.
I told you guys like I wanted to trigger an existential depression in one of you before I left today.
All right, you can't bring me down, brother.
But preferably everybody.
Yeah. All right,
like I've written jokes about it before, but I like the idea of being able to die and just I can't because my dog won't eat unless I'm home, so I hate her.
That's it.
But I used to have the freedom, and it's not like a no regrets thing. If you live without regrets, and you've learned fucking nothing. A regret is, you can still like appreciate whatever relationship, but you better damn well regret it. Otherwise, you didn't learn a goddamn thing. God, fucking YOLO.
I can hear that.
We were talking about that the other week. Christian was like, "If you could forget bad memories, would you?" And I said the same thing. I said no, because you need to remember the bad things to learn.
Yeah, like that butterfly learned to not get electrocuted.
Yeah.
But
after getting that, once again, it's like, man, what did you do? Oh, I just fucking electrocuted butterflies all day. Like, you sick fucking bastard.
Oh
dude.
man, all I got to do is shove my hand into a cow's gut.
What kind of sick fuck sits around and goddamn zaps butterflies with electricity all day? And they said, no, we just zap them. And they're like, oh, you mean just like a quick zzz? And they're like, yeah, like, for 10 seconds. That's what they said. A quick zap.
That's what zapping. She likes.
You can call it zapping, and that makes it not electrocuting them for 10 seconds. That's what it actually is. It's fucking great. Sorry, what? All right, we derailed you.
No, I was just like, he lives in underground Detroit.
No, yeah, underground fucking suburban in a bunker underneath Detroit subway system that didn't even know existed.
Are you next to an airbase?
Could be, dude.
Oh, shit. Fucking nailed it.
I think they're
First appearance.
I thought he was getting crop dusted like weed fields somewhere in Mexico. I don't ever know with this guy.
Right,
he's in different locations.
Is it an Air Force base?
He changes his appearance often.
Okay, so it's an Air Force base. All right, so that narrows down what I could go from there. So I'm out.
We're never sure if he's wearing pants or not. He's kept it mystery thus far.
It's a thing.
It's like Joker's origin. You shouldn't know. It makes it better.
It does. Yeah, we really all want to know that. Whoa, now that.
So all right. So
see, like literally, it's something big. Something big's going down over there, bro.
That's all right. It's the big. That helicopter is the big, long, gray one with something on top.
I can't. I don't know.
All right. I'm trying to narrow this fucking down. Well, you see him all day, apparently.
Yeah. What is that? A real airstrip, or what is that?
Yeah, there's a military base, right? I work on a military base.
Oh. So he's...
Oh, he is on a secret military base.
Helicopter.
It's top secret.
All right. I don't know.
Dude, you just let that out, man. They're going to come check your fucking card or whatever.
Oh, no. Getting on base is fucking
grade.
Easy.
Yeah, no. It's good. It's what we do on this podcast. It's serious bullshit. We just bullshit our way through anything we can possibly... any digressions we can take, we go. Go ahead.
Nice. But I like the freedom. Why does the stutters come in? I like the freedom of dying. Cause it's just like I'm okay with it because it's going to happen eventually. So I like the idea of when it happens. I'm like, all right, like fight or flight kicks in because you're like, is this really it? And like, I don't want that problem. I just want to look down, so you pull a red and be like, this makes sense. Darkness take me or whatever. But now
it's going out like that, dude. You think you get stabbed to death?
I don't know. It just some people like I don't want to live to be this age. Like I don't want to live to tax season.
Would you seppuku?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be pretty.
What would be the best way to do it if you were an old guy? If you were an old guy and you were like, I'm getting to the point where it's not about to be pretty anymore, dude. What would be your way of going out like you know what I mean? Like, what would be your way of doing it? Like a Viking.
This might have been a joke I heard in high school, so if I'm quoting someone, I'm sorry. But stand on a chair, put a piano wire around your neck, and glue your hands to your head, and then jump.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that one, dude. Just like sever your own head off?
Yeah, and then people are like, what made him so angry?
And then he like ripped his own head off?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. That's a good one. I was going to say like go out and like fight a bear or a mountain lion.
Oh, that's actually
just go off into the wilderness
awesome.
and just fucking do it.
I went on a hike and I was scared shitless of bears just because I went alone to soul search because I'm alone and and like I knew is North Carolina, their bears are bigger than the South Carolina ones, and so like I had bear mace,
yeah,
which I didn't know was more than a joke from South Park, and then I also brought like 9mm, which isn't a large enough caliber to do shit to a bear. As they have
it's gonna
12 inches worth of fat and then like another 9 inches of bone. Yeah, and so literally my plan A was bear mace, plan B was
maybe an eye shot.
Fucking go out like a boss.
Yeah, maybe a brain shot or you get lucky.
No, I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna like people are gonna find me, finger still on the trigger, and be like, homie fought.
He did it, dude. He went out.
Homie thought.
Homie fought. Meanwhile, you just were like.
You know, he lost a lot of blood and then also the fight, but I like having the freedom of passing and not worry. But now my friend who I told you about earlier moved up from Florida. We were in the Marine Corps together. Ever since he's moved here, and I bought a goddamn house because it's cheaper than renting, and we had to find a place. So I bought a house, and ever since I got in that house, he's gotten like 2 jobs. He's making back his money. He's going to school and doing really well, and he's gotten a girlfriend. I'm like, fuck, now I can't die because I got to worry about this little fucker.
Yeah.
And then I don't have mortgage
so what do you just
insurance.
Like? What do you like? Got like a plan?
Cool with dying. No, I weirdly
What's going on here?
I told you I wanted this to be weird.
I knew a fucking guy one time that I worked with in the kitchen that he told me, man, he was real fucked up. That dude, he came out of a halfway house.
Keep that voice
in a halfway house. He was like, man, I just need, man, I only want 7 more years and that's it. That's it, bro. 7 more years. I don't want to live no more after that. It was just such a weird, obscure thing to me that like this guy had. He was like, nah, man, I got it pretty much planned out. 7 more years of whatever the fuck crazy life I'm living right now. He's like,
what
and then
year
I'm
was
good,
this?
dude. This was literally like a year ago.
What?
Oh, so 6 years to
2
go.
2 years ago, maybe, tops.
God, I'm trying to think, like, what happened 6 years ago that we could possibly know about in 7? Like, what's, like, Star Wars? Like, Star Wars should finish the newer trilogy by, or whatever.
It's like what's
like,
the thing? What's the thing that
I'll be able to watch Infinity War and still have enough time if there's a sequel. I don't know, like 7 years and that should cover it.
But then I'm definitely gonna kill myself.
Yeah, after I saw whatever
or
movie
whatever
or sequel, I'm like, all right, this chapter's done. I don't want to start it. It's like if you like, I avoid Netflix shows because like I don't want to start a new thing and get hooked on it.
Don't get me hooked, dude. I might have to extend.
So now that Avengers or Star Wars or whatever we're using this story I've made up and haven't stuck into, whatever that thing's done, I'm going to kill myself so that way another thing doesn't start. And I'm like, oh, now we got to finish it. Why does his voice change?
I don't know. I don't know why. He was real. If he sounded like that, dude, I would have been very surprised the way he looked.
You should make it 6 years. Make it.
Oh, man, this is what we sound like. It's fucking gnarly sounding.
That sounds like a guy who doesn't even have 7 years to choose
dude,
from.
no, it sounded like a guy whose belief that he was going to die was going to kill him in 7 years. He knew in 7 years he was going to believe himself to death. He was like, I will die. in 7 years. And
I feel like he's gonna have as disappointing of a death as he did a life whenever he waits.
Oh, his life was super. He's a fucking like a Nazi guy, dude. I'm pretty sure he had like black people hanging on his back, like as a tat.
And then a hush fell the room.
Yeah, dude. This guy used to drink the wine. This guy used to drink the wine in the back, the cooking wine.
Oh, he sounds like a stellar person.
I mean, dude, we had halfway house people coming through for a while, dude. We had him come through. We had a guy come through that was like fucking. He was like this black Muslim dude that had to go out and pray on this prayer rug all the time, and he would like set it down this dirty ass shit outside and smoke a cigarette while he was doing prayer rug. And I'd be out there laughing like, this is the most bizarre thing. He's like he's trying to smoke and do his thing, dude. It was but we only had 5 minutes.
That's genius, because like you only have 5 minutes. You can't go out for the prayer and the cigarette. So
exactly. No, he had to make it happen. It was just like,
me.
Yeah, it was just like, man, this is fucking a crazy place that I'm working in right now, man.
No, just I gotta hurry up before I go back in. But I just wanted to say, or whatever, how I don't know how to pray properly.
It was the type of environment where you don't say shit to anybody. Like you don't question anybody. Like you don't say, hey man, can you come in real quick? We got a sandwich, and it'd be like, I'm praying, bro. And you're like, all right, he's praying, dude.
Like, only on Fridays, or was it every day?
It's an everyday
I don't
thing.
know, dude. He was doing it all the time, man. I think he was using it to get cigarette breaks and shit, dude. I think it was like that.
He definitely was.
And it's like one of those things where it's like nobody's gonna call him on it because nobody knows enough about Islam to like fucking be like, nah, it's only a certain times. Everybody was just like, I don't know if he means it or not.
No,
but I don't want to call him out and get in trouble.
And I don't remember this, and I have a Quran. I should read it. Open-minded, and it's like 3 times a day, every day, facing towards I forgot what their big monument thing is. Mecca, facing towards Mecca.
Yeah.
And
it's a city.
Thank you. No, but there's this thing in the city where apparently Muhammad like came in and just destroyed every statue of some other idol or whatever.
Yeah. I think I remember this from religion class, vaguely.
Yeah, me too. I'm phoning in. I'm glad you confirmed it with your also.
I'm pretty sure that sounds familiar. Yeah. That guy was he was slinging some dick back then, dude. He didn't give a fuck. But let's not talk
against
about
other religions or on like women.
What's that?
Against other religions or on women? Kind of dick slinging you talking about?
I think just against anybody that was like not following his shit back then in that general area, right? Didn't he go on like a huge, just taking over everything kind of rampage?
Actually, yeah, it was a war to spread his new belief system. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's how they wrote it down. Just phrased differently.
Yeah, pretty sure it was just like any other religion except for Buddhism and Hinduism. Like it's any other proselytizing religion where they like have you go out and they want to save people and shit like that. You always have this crazy like Inquisition type shit. They want to get everybody on board or fucking. That's a real fucked up thing, dude. Like any situation where you're like, hey man, be my friend or I'll kill you. And it's just like, all right. So it's like, if when I came, like, follow my God or you're going to fucking go to hell and I'm going to kill you. And you're like, all right, Jesus Christ, I guess I'm following your God now. But are you following that God? It's just like, you're never going to really be following. Like, deep in your mind, you're always like, nah, dog, my God, this guy's fucking an asshole.
I had a Mormon friend once and he was all about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, he actually, in Vegas, so, that's probably fun for him being Mormon. He actually would go around as a missionary. It's like something that you get to do. And,
oh, dude, that's got to be like missionary Mecca, dude. There's so much work to do.
He was very proud of what he did. So I guess it went well. But and then I met him in the Marine Corps, and it was hilarious because he's like this devout. Like he wouldn't drink coffee, anything with caffeine. Would never swear, wouldn't smoke or dip, anything like that. Like model Mormon citizen, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was also a rifleman, and he would just be like, "Man, yeah, let's fuck dudes up," and I'll be like, "Jesus!" It was the best duality I'd ever seen. Yeah, it was the funniest thing. Like we'd go out.
He's the type that if you
bars,
talk some shit to him at the door, he'll like actually beat your ass in that little outfit.
No, he's a delightful person, but like as a rifleman, he was legitimately aggressive as fuck, which is good for the environment. But it was hilarious, just like. Yeah, I really miss my family, and I can't have that coffee because my moral standard and religious beliefs. And then, let's fucking get shit done, man. Let's explosions and shit.
Man, I used to have this I did this stupid joke whenever I first started about like whipping your dick at a Mormon guy at the door or something like that. And I was thinking though about it, like legitimately, if you had one of them come to the door and you just kind of opened like your first door. I picture like you have the big wooden door and then you have like a screen door. You like open up the first door and you're like just kind of poke your head around and just like, hey, what's up? And you're like, yeah, you guys come on inside, right? And then you do that thing where like you open up the door and then they come in, and then when you close the door, you reveal yourself to them, and you're just naked standing there. And then, but they're in your house voluntarily, dude. Like, is that because I think it would be illegal to open up the door and show them your dick. If you open up the door naked, I think that's illegal. I don't think you can do that because I think you're exposing yourself to the public, right?
There's a weird statute where, like, if you're in your house, you know, that's on you. But also, if neighbors complain enough, it becomes illegal anyway.
Well, yeah, if it's showing through the window, I guess, right? It's kind of like you're just standing there on the porch.
But if you open the door, then you're willingly entering public view. So, you know, that's probably the stipulation on it.
Could you imagine? The looks on their faces. You're just like, hey, tell me more. And then you just sit your bare ass down on the couch next to him, and you just sit there like this. And you're just like, all right, go ahead. And you just let them do their whole thing, man. You just sit there. See if they can get through it. See how good they are, man. This is a test. If they get through, to be like, you know what, you guys did a real fucking fine job. Here's $10. You get a tip, but I don't want to follow your religion, but, you know, here you go. You guys did great.
No, I thought you were talking
they leave and they're like, were we just prostitutes? Do we just we were approached by a nude man that gave us money?
Definitely.
That was great.
You used
Thanks,
to, like,
boys.
draw on your dick or something. Like, you used to be like a leper.
Yeah, it was. It was a bunch of dumb shit. But I don't think I'm gonna do that as a joke. I just thought about how you could legally get away with sexually assaulting people.
So what gives you guys meaning in life, huh? Let's
how do we meet?
No, what gives you meaning in life?
Oh.
Let's get into it.
We meet? Is that what you said? That's his answer. Can't change it.
We meet. We meet gives me meaning in life.
Well, your parents were great. Now on to you.
For me, it's just learning as much as I can and just trying to. It's a pretty common human endeavor just to sort of leave your mark on whatever you can and to advance whatever sort of science I can and to learn as much and then pass as much of that on to other people.
Okay. So, Jurassic Park theory. Stand on the shoulders of giants, but you're the giant in this scenario. Sorry, I did a movie
Eventually.
thing. But get yourself to a point, have some significant contribution.
Significant sounds way better. Sounds way better.
Guys,
does sound better.
I know how to cook chicken cordon bleu, so let's.
Significant.
So you want to do something significant in your life, and so once you. All right.
Do not go to full fucking.
No, so it's all significant things that you've done in your life, and you just want to keep doing that. There's a science division. All right.
It's a science.
I'm just going to continue like this the whole time.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's good.
Good.
So good. So what? You just want to make your mark on the history and do all that?
It looks like he should talk like that.
No, he's dude.
If he talked like that with a lab coat on right now, dude, he could fucking be.
The hair's the eyes big fan. We've got the whole system for that.
Throw a couple lab rats behind him.
I think I went French.
Some butterflies for him to fucking
German.
electrocute like some kind
That's
of crazy.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Sicko.
I always have a accent creep. I just sort of creep over to left, right. We're going British. We're going German. We're switching around some French in there. It never works out.
So here we are. So what would you want your contribution to society be?
It's not like it's not any sort of determined plan because.
Well, I think that's the problem. We're here. We're for you. Do that.
We're here to pick your plans, Sterling.
Yes.
So right now I wanna do you gotta get a PhD probably in some sort of business field because
that's the spirit.
I could do a PhD in either engineering or business, but if I did one in business, you make about $40,000 more a year, so might as well just do that and then make it work to my advantage. So probably do business and then focus on some sort of just technology or something that I think I can make a contribution and make a difference and really just keep my brain entertained. It's all about solving problems that I find interesting.
So you like to do this thing, you get the PhD, it's a business. I don't know where in the world I am right now, but you do that, and then...
It's a business, I've got the PhD, I'm British, German, Cosby.
You got the PhD, and then you get... Oh! Alright, so then you get the PhD, you make the business, you hell of the money. And then from there, what you do is you organize some sort of financial stipulation for the medicines, the growth, and then you keep learning from there.
No medicine. I'm not gonna get into medicine. I'll do could do supply chains. It could be something with blockchain. Really into that. I think it's gonna be a big growth opportunity in our society. Could be That's just good. Renewable. It could be energy sort of business. Looking at research in that, because I'm pretty good at doing. Right now, I do renewable energy. I work in wave energy converters.
This is making me feel bad.
This is so good.
He's making me feel bad right now, dude.
So he wants to develop the energy to save the world, and you just said mow me, you little bitch.
My main motivation right now is just to like not have a job.
Okay. So hit that subscribe button,
please,
because I also don't like working that hard.
Sterling, it's like funny. He's like, yeah, I want to work hard and do all this shit. I'm just like, man, I don't want to work hard.
Yeah, it's called the grind, man.
Don't want to do too much. No.
Use the grinder, and life is a coffee. You got to get the grind going.
You got to get the grinder moving.
That's what I like ultimately about the academic sort of field, is that you get to determine the work you want to research, and you get to determine more of your hours. It's highly flexible, right? And that is why I'm interested. It's because I don't want a 40-hour job week where I go in and I'm an engineer and I sit there for all 40 hours and get whatever job I have to do done, and then sit there for the rest of the hours. Or just have way too much work and have to work 60 hours in finance or something like that. I want a job where I pick my hours and I pick the research I want to work on. And that's why academia is the correct field, I believe, for myself.
You guys think that they'll just get rid of jobs?
Oh, my God.
Just get rid of jobs? You think they're going to get rid of jobs, dude? Like,
no, because you look at the people on the street who got rid of jobs and you're like, fuck.
Well, I always hear the argument about like, oh, those people with the the registers and shit are gonna lose their jobs if you keep doing the self-checkouts and all that shit, and they're making you do the jobs. And it's like, no, they're just not at the point where it's really easy. Eventually, you will be able to just walk up with your cart. It'll just say, oh, that's what you got. It'll fucking scan all the codes just magically, and you'll fucking put them on a bag and just leave. It'll be the easiest thing ever, and you don't have to deal with somebody that's miserable, dude. Because literally, dude, the percentage. Oh yeah, whatever. The percentage of people that are fucking miserable at the grocery store or whatever, dude, all these shit jobs that nobody wants to be. Nobody wants to be at that shit job, dude. Just automate it.
I'm listening. I'm just trying to go through the comments.
I know you're fine, dude. I'm just looking over.
I'm attentive to the thing. I want
to
talk comments.
There's like a fucking million fucking brooms sitting in a fucking warehouse somewhere, dude, and there's still people in the factory just working, making fucking brooms. You know what I mean? But there's like a surplus of brooms just sitting there that they're just trying to get rid of, dude. It's just fucking crazy, man.
Broom factory, dude. Broom factory problems. Yeah, there's a. And
they're all shitty too. Million shit brooms, dog shit.
That essentially, as AI begins to take over more and more jobs, that we're going to have a society where most of the wealth is concentrated towards the people who own these automated businesses, and so therefore, what the government will need to do is to increase the taxes on these businesses, because they're going to be making more money, because they are essentially going to be the only businesses, and they're fully automated, so they're making more money, and then there's no one has any work, so the government's going to have to tax these businesses more and then distribute that wealth through some sort of income plan.
Dude, do you think like these businesses are just going to be like making all the decisions, and it'll be like these giant groups of people, like you'll side with some business or something instead of like a Republican or a Democrat? It'll be like, are you siding with the Tesla or fucking Apple?
Don't you think it's already like that?
I mean, kind of, yeah. But it's kind of
lobbies.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the money in politics is what you are picking a company's position more than.
So really, all right. So is that just then us just kind of going into our own little fucking? We're getting so populated that we're like literally hiving up in these little fucking super cell organism giant things, man. Like,
I think he's back to the butterfly.
Back to the butterfly, dude. Are we in the
butterfly
right now, bro? Right now we're melting down, dude. We don't know what we are, and then eventually we're gonna come out of this completely fucking.
If I could hurry up and
reborn,
melt, that'd be
dude.
fucking great. I'm done. I don't want taxes.
If you could take the pill right now that makes you live 150 years guaranteed, would you do it?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
I figured. For some reason, I was like, maybe he would say no. Why?
'Cause first of all, I'm not even close to being a quarter of the way done with that. I don't know math. I've done like a quarter century, and I'm like, all right, cool. I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
I don't know.
else's turn.
Yeah. The kind of it's just I'm kind of on your end with the thing. I think me and my roommate every once in a while will stay up till like 2 in the morning and actually have a nice conversation. But his definition of what it is to be a man, given our shit gets deep, bro.
Yeah.
But his definition is being humble. Like his dad was always very humble. He has a permanent limp. Something's wrong with his leg, so he has to go with a walker everywhere. But that injury is how he met his wife. So he's very humble about it. It doesn't bother him. He's never complained about it his entire life. That's his definition. My definition, I don't know why, I don't have an origin for it, is self-sacrifice. So, I joined the Marine Corps and then I went into the infantry, and then it didn't really. I drank a lot, but the idea was like I'll be in harm's way, or I'm trying to be, not for lack of trying, and then so other people won't have to shit like that. And like now, I bought a house because my friend from Florida needs a place to stay to get his life together, or so you sacrifice for other people. And the thing about being a comedian, at least for me, is like I already know I don't have the mental capacity to reorganize how energy works or to cure any disease. I won't be able to do that, but there are other people who certainly can. So imagine like a Chris Rock or Louis C.K. level comedy show. How much money goes into that?
Like
a lot.
You mean like a special or what? Or
like a concert, like going
just
to
one thing. Oh, how much money do you pay to go to one or something?
How much? Like just think of all the money that
all
comes
the money
out
that
of those shows.
Generates
the revenue,
right?
Yeah, the
fucking
revenue.
shitload. Yeah,
GDP, man.
The GDP.
And,
Gan, no.
Of the show.
Gan, no.
That's a fucking huge callback. I'm
that was
on
great.
it right now. So
take
if you were to
Alpha Brain, bro.
how much
jacked?
Like if you were to do a couple shows like that, you don't even have to do all of them, but a couple shows like that, and just got rid of the money to go to something. And there's a weird statistic where if you want to know how many prison cells you need in 10 years, look at the reading level of third graders, and it will tell you to almost 100% accuracy.
Really? Like there's a correlation?
Yes. If you cannot read by the time you were 10 years old, you're scientifically guaranteed to be fucked. Read to your kids. Hurry up and click that subscribe button and then go read to your fucking kids.
Base Victor Sterling and all other parties do not stand by that claim.
whatever, it's your thing. You do what you have to do. So like if you were to take that money and literally just give it to an elementary school.
Yeah.
The books, they can go back to having book day or book whatever at the thing, and then they can do exciting things or afford to go on field trips to get kids more excited about their education at that age where it matters. If you drop out of high school, you can still kind of Bill Gates it. If you drop out of third grade, you're fucked. You can't even build gates, let alone bill it.
Especially if your parents are stupid. That's huge.
Yeah.
So what do you think made you such a self-sacrificing type of dude, man?
Let's get into it.
Is that like do you think it's like a gene thing, like an altruism type?
Being depressed helps. No, I don't. I don't.
Does it? I feel like it would make you slow and lethargic to react to a situation when we need you to self-sacrifice, dude. Now, where are you at, man?
Oh no, dude.
You're like, like, could you guys get in a bad situation later?
I don't believe on a personal level that I have value. This is what I wanted to do in the podcast, just be really dark. Like, I don't believe that on a personal level, I don't have value, and if I want to look up the value, it's whatever's in my bank account at the moment.
I love how he's like making a smoothie over top of this or something.
But other people
No, I'm trying to listen.
No, I appreciate you. You're a wonderful human being. Look at you, reorganizing energy. Get that PhD. It's about that drive and that grind, son. Raise that GDP, homie. All right.
So you have no inherent self-worth, you say.
Right, but the people around me do. That's why it makes sense for me to buy a house, because one guy I know needs a place to stay. If I have it in the budget, it's going to help him out in the long run. I bought a fucking house.
So is that out of self-loathing or what? I don't want to turn it into like a fucking psychology.
No, like this is good. Like this
okay.
is why I like that podcast that we're gonna. I'll plug it later. I don't even know that we're gonna do next month. The reason I want to do it is because I think all comedians are inherently depressed. We just say it
and I'll be
better.
the guy that argues it, dude. I don't think we're inherently depressed.
The first show I ever did was some guy came up to me and is like, if you want to be a comic, you have to be depressed. And I was like, I'm on antidepressants right now. Let's fucking do this. And
that guy sounds like he's just fucking depressed, though, man. Like, why do I got to be depressed?
You're the only outside the box.
I really mean that, dude.
You're the only anomaly I've ever seen.
I get sad too, but I mean, like, it's a mental fucking game, man. Like it's beyond comedy, dude. It's all the weed. It's funny, but like, dude, I really think it has a lot.
I was like, I'm gonna learn a thing. I'm gonna learn a new thing, and then I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and it'll be like, it's not Monday, it's Sunday, and then it's weed. Oh fuck, shit, my bad.
I don't know, dude. Yeah,
I've been doing just the cigarettes.
I think it is true, dude. That if you just go really deep on weed and then you like watch certain things or experience, listen to certain things, it affects you in certain ways that cut deep grooves in your mind, man, and I just don't. I think there's more to be happy about. I think there's more good shit going on, dude. You have tons of shit that you can fucking like look forward to, right? Even if it's just hedonistic.
I mean, after 7 years,
what 7 years though, dude?
After the 7 years.
Well, yeah, up to the 7 years.
Once all the trilogies I'm invested in are done.
Hey, he was interested in something for that 7 years. He had to get something done in 7 years, right? Something mattered to him.
I want to know what it was, very badly.
But, is he still around, Christian? Can we find this guy?
Why would I wouldn't know, dude.
You should go on like his Xbox and set the time for 7 years later and see if he catches like, oh fuck, like he's behind schedule. Dude, like I gotta go to work.
Dude, did you forget? You said you were gonna kill yourself today. What's up, Frodo? Cat's in the house.
Set an alarm. What's up, homie?
You're not allergic to cats or anything, are you?
No, but this is a great time to ask.
Good, yeah. Because you're probably got 7 minutes.
Let alone 7 years.
Yeah, I don't know about all the rest of that.
This death message has been brought to you by Baggins.
I don't know. It's hard to articulate why, like what even like my meaning would be in life or like my purpose. Because it's like it's not
drive then.
Well, it's literally, dude. I don't think about what my drive is. Just, dude, I just like, man. I like having a good time, and I like making people.
So how long?
I like
how many L's can you
people.
put in the word when you say "let's chill" or whatever? That's.
I'm not that guy either, dude. Because a lot of times those guys are lazy, or those guys are like
work at Applebees.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, I work in a kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm digging out of this hole that vortex. All the people around me have all given up, and it's just like, man, I'm just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier than people think.
Yeah, I think. You ever seen?
And I think some comics relish in being depressed, as if it's like, if you think it's part of it, dude, how could you ever not be depressed? Then you would think you're never going to be funny again.
It's actually something I have a conversation with Herpes about. Legit.
Herpes?
What? Did you just say herpes? Yeah, wait.
No, that's something I don't talk to my herpes.
Did you talk to your herpes, bro?
No, I don't talk to my herpes. I talk to my therapist. My herpes.
I mean, at least you are.
My herpes and I are. We don't even text each other anymore. It's very.
Oh man.
Like I talked to a therapist about it because we started talking about comedy because it's gonna come up, and he was like, "What jokes do you write?" And I'm like, "I like the most upsetting jokes. Those are the ones that mean the most to me." And then he made that argument. Well, if you're looking for those jokes, you're gonna make yourself depressed, which I totally fucking do. That's why I brought this up. But so, like, I think you have.
I just made myself depressed.
No, I tried to come up with another way.
Right then, dude, that did
Vietnam
it. No, man. That's what I mean. Like, it's that mindset. The reason I challenge that mindset and I say that no, not all comedians have to be depressed is because that literally sets people up for depression. And then people that like
don't do it.
Well, like, dude, you ever suffer from like rage issues and shit? You ever have like that fucking problem where you're like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, where you hit red and shit.
I woke someone up on the other side of a building I was outdoors of because I yelled at somebody about a litter.
Yeah. Well, you know the feeling afterwards, right?
He deserved it.
You know the feeling afterwards, right, dude? I mean, all that shit is just.
Yeah.
That's all like for a while, dude, I used to relish in being angry. It's like, oh, I just want to let it out, dude. And you're like, you feel so good about it in the moment, dude. Yeah, but it's always just it's a temporary thing. It's like you scratching an itch. It wants you to scratch the itch so that way it can support itself. It's like thriving off of your repetition of the same mental patterns. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a movie reference I'm trying to get around, but the science experiment where you leave donuts out and then you say, we're going to bring fresh donuts in about 5 minutes, and the test is to see how content people are to just take the donuts and not wait the 5 minutes. And it's a fucking donut. The other donuts are still coming. You can donut on your way to donut.
Did they say whether or not it was Krispy Kremes? Because that's huge. It's fucking huge.
The donuts began and end with unspecified. So
could have been Dunkin', and therefore it would not matter whether you ate them 7 hours from then or not. We're sticking with 7.
Well, I think that's why they wouldn't bring it up in the issue, because they would ruin the experiment.
They knew the deal. Yeah.
But me and the same roommate, we got in an argument about it because like we were at a thing, and I was like, I want to get a donut from this gas station, and he brought up that movie and that scene where they talk about it, because if you're grabbing the old donut, then you're not like waiting. You don't have the patience. You don't have the drive to get this better thing. And the movie, it made sense to the plot, blah, blah, blah. And then we got an argument about whether or not that's just... Because I was infuriated. I was like, I can't be this loser from the movie. He gets married.
The donut guy or the late donut guy? Which donut guy were you?
I was there's a donut right there.
You're content with the
I've wanted a donut. This is
donut.
100% satisfaction on my donut need.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's an issue with being too content with life.
Donut need.
Which is why, like, I really don't care. Like, if my house didn't have any furniture in it, which I'm lucky because it was furnished, but if it didn't, I would be completely content with a lawn chair in the living room and just be like, this is my life until
the donut.
Next.
What are you doing? You would just sit there, dude?
No, but if you
need a fucking hobby, bro. That's
constantly.
What you need.
I got baking, you know.
Well, you're baking. What else? You need to get on some other shit. You need to get I'm like constantly having to do shit like with this and fucking making these songs for this goddamn podcast and trying to get ready for comedy and working and stuff. I keep it going, so I think I don't have a lot of time to even think about. I just don't have a lot of time to even think about the sad shit in life, man. Maybe you just get some other shit going, you know.
I mean, I used to be really busy, and now I don't work as much.
Why don't you get a fucking instrument or something? Start fucking learning a new skill.
I tried.
Huh?
I tried guitar long enough to be like, this is the cap of where I will go. It's like knowing you won't cure a disease. Like, this is fucking it. But my drum set's still at the old house, and I need a truck. That's
probably what you need, though. Get an electric drum set, bro.
Well, I was hoping I'd spend this time writing the jokes that I'm supposed to be performing. But, so dying.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing you're doing that.
But stand-up comedy, I think, for a lot of us is a huge stress release. Like, I started doing stand-up when I officially hit a cracking point.
Mm-hmm.
And then my therapist was useless because he literally said to me, good luck. Like, he said that, but without as much vigor as I did. And so I had a breaking point, and I had to go to do stand-up. And then I started talking about these problems, and it became very therapeutic. And then I've talked this problem to death. It's not an issue anymore. So then I talked the next problem to death, and it moved on. And it felt great to have that release. And if I could do that and be popular enough to have like a theater arena-sized show, which is shot in the dark, then I can, whatever 50% of all shows, the money for that's going to go to a specific elementary school. And then I go to the next place and do a specific elementary school, just so third graders can fucking read. And then one of those little readers will actually be able to cure disease, and that's how I fund it. And then, less people go to jail because they can fucking read.
Well, it's noble.
Yeah.
It's noble, but it's like... I feel like there's an unnecessary level of self-sacrifice that you.
I think it's a drive. Like, I know I don't matter, but third graders do, and I think.
I definitely disagree. That's definitely the best way to do it, because when you have this altruistic goal that you're trying to reach, you're more willing to sacrifice and reach those goals than if you're just doing it for self-interest.
Yeah, but if you're not happy throughout it all,
buy my album on iTunes so I can fund this project. No, but seriously, I would go to a show, and if the show doesn't do well, I have this voice in my head that's just like, a third grader's dead now because you can't fucking figure out timings to punchlines.
Oh, dude, well, don't do that. Now you're putting it on the people. Dude, listen, if you guys don't support my comedy, third graders are going to die by the fucking minute, all right?
Statistically, that's accurate.
You're kind of like holding the ransom note up right now, bro. But no,
buy my comedy so that people aren't so shitty when they work at your Applebees and
support your local Applebees.
I think the greatest thing that would encapsulate it, or what would give my life meaning, is like having a family, because then you only have one life, and you shouldn't think yours matters because there are other people to take care of. But when you have a spouse or a loved one, and especially when you have a kid, Now your life is a permanent part of theirs, so your life should be spent building up those other two. And especially when you have a kid, like, you got to take care of it because his life's going to have another one. And by the time you're dead, he has to know how to do your job or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I want kids.
Well, yeah, you're the type of dude that should probably have kids in today's day and age. Like me, no.
Yeah, I'd be a great stay-at-home dad. I can make chicken cordon bleu.
He can make chicken.
I'm making cookie dough.
Cookies and shit.
And chocolate chippets.
I'd be the worst. I'd be the worst dad. I'd be the worst dad. I'd be a real cool dad. No, I'd be a
the
cool
worst
dad.
Is that guy that's gonna die in 7 years. That guy'd be the worst dad.
Who? Oh, that guy.
He's got 7 years to be bomb as fuck. That's gonna bring his average up, and that's how we score.
Yeah, a lot of people.
If your dad's dead, you can't get mad at him for leaving.
A lot of people find catharsis, doing stand up and shit like that, just like doing any creative thing.
That's like legitimate.
Audiences like that. Some audiences like the catharsis too.
This got really dark, but I accidentally. I didn't know I was doing this. No, this performance.
We've opened up some real deep pedophiles.
No, that's
before.
really what I wanted to do. I want to be like, all right, if we're gonna BS on a podcast, and we're gonna fucking get into it.
We're gonna get into some things.
But I went to Coffee Underground on Mondays. It starts at like 7:30, and we perform there.
Got it, dude.
It's in Greenville. This is on the internet. You have to specify for all three watching. I'm sorry, that's something I say on my own shit. I didn't mean to insult you.
No, you're fine, dude.
Okay, I want to be invited back, and they'll be like, he's the cool one, and then they'll say something about me.
We're realists. We know who's watching.
We know what's going on, dude.
Okay, subscribe, you lazy motherfucker. And but I didn't know I was doing this. I just lined up the jokes that I had written for the night, and I didn't realize that all three of them had suicide punchlines, and I was like, oh fuck. And like halfway through this set,
people are like starting to like wonder.
Yeah, and then there's one. Craig,
this guy just gonna blow his brains out for his closer? What the fuck's going on?
Hey, the bits all worked. It was hilarious. You should come watch us perform. The bits all worked. It was just I was halfway through it and getting to that next suicide punchline. I was like, oh fuck,
hey,
my next
buddy,
joke is
get
this.
to the next suicide punchline over here.
I know
weirdest heckle ever.
I know what the people want. If you were to ever like heckle that to me at a show, I'll be like, do I have a joke for you?
Hey, get to the next suicide punchline.
But I do like jokes that are that dark because there's this thing that Louis C.K. said, like, people are paying a babysitter, like they took time to go out to the show, they had to find parking, so give them something to take home. And so whenever the only jokes that I care about are the ones that you can take home. Like there's a joke about my grandpa when he died, and I got to watch it. It was fun. But I learned a lot, and then I go through the bullshit of establishing like plot and character development because it's storytelling, and then I get to a very, very serious moment.
Put that out.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, it was just that she'll start stinking.
No, it's true. I keep.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Constantly.
No, you're good. Sorry.
But there's a thing that I learned when I watched him die because his wife was there. They've been married like 60-something years, and he's surrounded by all of his grandchildren. I'm like, there's a line, you can see it. And so I bring that to a joke, and then I get it very, very serious, and I listen for the silence. That means that part of the joke worked, and then I immediately undercut it by saying a douchebag thing, but you still take that 5 seconds with you.
Yeah. Or
the joke about, it kind of goes into what I think life meaning is. Love is a very important thing. I go through the bullshit of establishing like bad situations and blah, 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 and then at the very end, love is an oatmeal cookie, and there's a
Cookie Talk podcast.
Cookie Talk podcast, dude.
Yeah, but love's an oatmeal cookie, and I believe that because of A, B, and C, and then I let them have that moment, which is a nice thing. I've done that at shows and watched a couple like get closer, and like they laughed at that part and they got closer at this part, so it works. And then I immediately undercut it to go back into the next joke.
Yeah.
Life has some meaning. I just don't have it.
You do, though. You do, I think.
Don't tell me what to do.
I think you do have meaning. I think you want to not have meaning, dude. I think you're struggling to not. Because as a human, you're biologically just fucking mechanically driven to find meaning. Whatever it is, you'll find it something. That's why you want to have a kid.
That's the biggest issue with self-awareness.
Your body is seeking to reproduce right now to find that more meaning for itself.
Not as aggressive as he said it.
It's in the wrong spot.
But turn around. There it is. That's rude. But like I know that having that sort of atmosphere would make me very happy. I just also accept the reality. It's not it very well may never happen. So I can focus on these third graders.
That's fine. That's fine. And I think you'll get it in that, though, too.
Oh, that's really sweet. But I think self-awareness is an issue that humans have because, like, dogs aren't self-aware of their existence.
Yeah.
They're just aware enough to know that what they're feeling may not be the emotion another dog is feeling. They're that aware, but not enough to be like, we can challenge beliefs because we're aware of it now.
Yeah, they're not talking.
And so self-awareness about whether or not there is an emptiness or not, it's fine to believe whatever you want. I'm not going to knock anybody for that. Or the self-awareness that you will die, combine all that, and then the value that comes with it. So family, taking care of people, that's a value to me. And because I don't have that family to take care of, then at the moment I have absolutely zero value, so I could invest that time in something else.
Yeah, but like, all right, how about this then? How about this then? How about this then? I'm some fine young lady, and I'm looking for a nice man out here, and I'm out searching the town, and I'm out, I'm going places. I'm nice though. I'm not, I'm a classy broad.
You look
so
like
I'm out,
Classy broad.
I'm out just, at the dress store, and I see you, and I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's up? And I start talking to you, and I'm like, this motherfucker got no worth. And I'm like, I don't want to be with this bitch. I ain't having no kids with you because you got no worth, dude. Then what?
Then
you got to find the worth. You got to find that value first, dude.
I just don't.
So you can make that family. Think about it, dude. If you had a dad that had no value in himself, he probably wouldn't treat you too good. Well, maybe he would. I don't know, man. It's complicated. I don't want to tell you how you are, but I think I don't know. I think
let's make it weird.
Did I make it weird?
No,
make it weird.
No, I mean I'm just saying. I think you can. I think you can find more than you think you can do. I think you're like holding up a blinder. I think you got a horse blinder up right now.
Yeah, but then I don't have to focus on periphery. I can focus on the third graders.
The third graders, though, man.
Basically.
You keep saying that. I did say pedophiles earlier, and I was just making a pun reference.
Shit.
But you've said focusing on the third graders like 3 times, so I don't know if people are going to clip things together. There's a lot of audio, weird stuff going on.
No, I think it's fun. I think your goals are great. I think it'll work out.
Like I said, your goals are noble. I just am afraid that you're like just going to be miserable.
No, probably. Honestly, like
I just feel like
I think
I accept
last night.
Fuck that.
I think a girl flirted with me, but I was so unaware of it. I didn't know until later. And I was like, oh, I don't think she worked there. I think she was just helping me find a thing in a store because she started a conversation. Oh, that makes way more sense. But they don't have uniforms at Books A Million. I didn't know.
She was like,
but like I'm
literally
very out of it, not aware.
You were just thinking that whole time, and she was like, "What's your worth?" She was like, "Hey, how are you?" You're like, "I have no worth." Just because you're deep in thought, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry."
No, she's like, "Oh,
Leave
mysterious."
Me. Oh yeah, you can be that guy.
Or those chicks are like, "I can fix him."
I want to, yeah, the fixer upper.
He fucking knows me.
I
hope on the screen he's above me because me pointing up at him whenever he talks doesn't make sense.
They know the TV's there. They know, whatever.
You guys know what's up. Are there comments? Has anyone said their life purpose yet?
No, Wraith commented in a little while ago.
Wraith. You vixen, you.
That's Keith. He should be coming out tomorrow. He said he came into this with no context, and he has absolutely no clue what the fuck is going on at some point.
You live in die.
Here's an off topic just to shoot off.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I think I've dragged us down.
What do you think? No. I don't care, dude. I can get real.
I like it, dude. This is good.
Yeah. No, that's.
All right, check this out. I listened to this I went fucking on a little, what do you call it, Radio Lab rabbit hole today. So I was just listening to a whole bunch of these motherfuckers, dude. And they were talking about blood. And I was thinking about it, dude. Like, they've been doing these tests recently with these rats where they'll, like, put young rat blood in some old rats, and the rats rejuvenate, dude. Guys, how long before they're farming poor people for blood? Young
there's
blood.
already Blood Boys.
But young. What's Blood Boys?
I don't think it'll never happen because Blade Trinity was such a bad movie.
What's Blood Boys?
It's like like Silicon Valley executives will have young boys with clean blood, and they'll just share. They'll like hook it up to themselves and.
No way. They have like a guy around. No, that's
the Blood Boy.
That's like, their sex slave. What are you talking about? That's the Squire guy.
He just has to keep his piss clean, keep his nose clean, and then he just gives them blood, dude. He's the blood boy.
Blood boy, bringeth your arm. Blood boy, I need to be rejuvenated. They're just giving themselves young blood. So literally, there's going to be farmed, enslaved, potentially.
This went from a question to there's definitely gonna be.
Dude, well, that just confirmed it for me.
Well, there already is.
Blood Boys confirmed it. It already exists to that level. I had no idea.
Yeah, so
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's talked about it quite a bit about those things, and it was a whole plot line on Silicon Valley HBO's show.
Really?
Yep.
Oh well, if it's on Silicon Valley.
Definitely true.
Did you guys know they like sell like Red Cross sells the bags for like $3,000 or something a piece for a pint of blood to different hospitals, and then if that hospital can't use all the blood, they just sell it off to other hospitals. They like mark up the price and they jack it up like, you know, whatever, and they profit off of it. And they're just like moving this blood around, dude. And sometimes blood gets like spoiled and shit like that, and fucking it's like there's a whole business around it. Yeah, like you're not.
I think it's super weird that there's blood banks. I think that's really weird. I think it's great.
It is very weird.
No,
it is great.
Blood banks, it's not to like make a deposit or to sell it or pay your mortgage off. It's literally just it's supposed to be allowed in reserve, so you stop getting those texts that say we need this type of blood.
That's what it is. It's the only way to get it off the list.
No, basically.
I just want to unsubscribe. Give the blood.
Yeah, I mean, or they don't hold on to it for later.
Dude, oh man, that was getting so bad.
Oh man, but I mean,
oh shit, whatever. I'll just cut that part out if it's a little pain in the balls there. I can edit it later.
I mean, while I'm on YouTube, I found this page called Stone Grown Comedy.
Yeah, dude. Y'all check out fucking Stone Grown Comedy, man.
Yeah.
These are good dudes.
It literally just used to be my YouTube channel, and then it was like, all right, now we're actually promoting shit. There is a video up, or we're going to put up soon, of me getting the shit kicked out of me, promoting Raja Martial Arts Academy up on Woodruff. And he's a really cool dude, and we filmed a commercial, but we're comedians, so it has a bit, and the bit is me getting punched in the face ridiculously fucking hard.
Nice.
Ouch.
Yeah, I wasn't able to drive home, and then I had to go back to film some more shots next week, so I got kicked in the head, and
how's that? I've been kicked. I've been punched in the head, not kicked in the head.
I drove home that week, but I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Just the rest of the day, I was like,
yeah, fuck that, man. That's no fun, dude.
But it was a great shot, and it'll be a great video. And a lot of our stand-up videos are on there. We just put up a video of Andy Cummins the night that Roy Scovel came in.
Shouts out to Andy Cummins.
Yeah. And then my stand-up's on there, and an old podcast I try to do called Idiots with Ideas, because my roommate says things. He says I'm dumb, but he says I'm beautiful. And he also looks great.
Flattering guy.
Yeah.
Is he trying to bang you?
No, no matter how much I bake. And no, he just says things in a very oversimplified way. Like he brought up, I don't know if you guys remember the sensation, but when you were kids, he told the story about when he broke his collarbone. But when you were kids and someone like came to school with a cast, you're like, oh fuck, this dude's got a cast. Like we've never injured before, so that he's cool. But the way he said it, because he was talking about like how people became friends with him when he was in that cast, he was like, because you know how when you were a kid and just like someone broke an arm, you're like, oh shit, Johnny's a badass.
Yeah.
Like he said it, and that was the most beautiful sentence I had heard up to my life. I haven't had a very eventful life, and so I used to record him talking. We'd like start driving with the camera on for 10 minutes, and then he'd forget the camera was there and be like, here it fucking goes.
Oh yeah, you gotta wait for him to.
Yeah. But it's not a great podcast. Just watch the stand-up. And subscribe, and then subscribe to his channel. And then
well, thanks for giving us the whole fucking synopsis for that shit before telling us it sucked.
No, I was trying to explain it, and then I really.
All right, by the way, all that shit I just told you about, don't go look it up.
Don't go
fucking sucks. Anyways, check out my comedy, and it's a great promo.
He's not gonna have stand-up videos on there. No, I want to come back. He will be.
All right, one more thing that I fucking heard on a goddamn radio lab. This was in a short, dude. Did you guys know the Looney Tunes guy was all just one dude making all those voices?
I saw it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like Bugs Bunny. Yeah. Yeah.
This gets better. The
Muppets dude was all one guy.
Okay, well, I'm talking about this guy did like Barney Rubble, like Yosemite Sam, Sylvester, like Tweety, fucking Bugs, Porky, all that shit, right? This fucking guy, dude. Apparently, he like got hit by a car or something. He went into this coma, and then they were trying to get him out. And then the only thing he answered to eventually was like, they were like, "Bugs, are you in there?" And he came out to Bugs Bunny. This guy was like deep in the characters, right? And like they said, like he became part of like the characters and shit, dude. But anyways, man, this guy sounds pretty fucking crazy. But then it all culminates, for me at least. It wasn't the end of the story, but it was for me. Was when he died, dude. This is his son telling it, and said his last words were, "I love you, Noel," in the voice of Yosemite Sam, and he did it like He was in Yosemite Sam character, and his last words to his son were "I love you." But like, how does Yosemite Sam talk, dude? I love you, son. Like, what the fuck?
That's really good.
Fuck, dude, what the fuck, though?
I'm not going to do it, but you did it great. Say I'm the rootinest, tootinest.
I can't even do it again. I don't even want to ruin that. But yeah,
always
dude.
on the high note.
Yeah. That was, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe that. I was like, how fucking deep do you got to be in the characters? And I pictured Travis the band. Travis, I thought about. Shouts out to Travis the band. I pictured him doing like a weird voice.
Yeah.
Like,
and we have him performing with one of our shows at Stone Grown, so you should go check out the YouTube page anyway, because we already told you to be a good comic.
Yep. Travis is the fucking. That's
rude.
That's my buddy.
Yeah.
We had
legitimately
his life on here a couple weeks ago.
We got him to tell us about his fucking banging his roommate and his fucking girlfriend at the same time.
Oh, that's so weird.
That's what we
like
thought.
Open. She's into
Turns
chicks
out it's pretty
too.
normal.
I got offered a threesome once.
They're both like aggro doms. Like they're both pretty. What do you call it? Misogynistic towards the other women too. It's funny.
Oh yeah, they call it
go
the
get
bitch.
some hoes. Like they go get some hoes and bitches and shit. It's fucking crazy.
I can't even process this. I got offered a threesome once.
I was about to ask. Tell me.
Yeah, it's this really disappointing story.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No,
well, we know the story doesn't end too well. If it's just an offer.
I picked up my girlfriend at the time from a thing, and she was intoxicated, and her friend was visiting and also intoxicated. I was taking her home, and then her friend was going home, and then she called and like, I don't want to drive. Can I come home with you? And I was like, that's still driving. Fuck. And then she's like, what if we had a threesome? Like, we could do that. And I first of all, I was angry because I was like,
she just got a ride.
I still lived at somebody else's house, and so I was like, no, it's not my house, it's not my call. And it was very polite, and honestly, like when it comes to threesomes, like I don't want to disappoint anyone.
I was very self-sacrificing during a threesome. I'm like, dude, you know what? You go ahead, bro.
Yeah, like I don't want to disappoint anyone. Like I'm already going to disappoint.
No, you can have the pussy for most of it, bro.
Sex.
You got it.
Yeah, so I'm very disappointing sexually, and like now 2 people are gonna be upset by the end of it, and like when I was in high school, my girlfriend at that time like tried to get me to be okay with a threesome scenario just to see if I would, and I absolutely wouldn't do it because clearly I have emotional attachments, and so she'd be like, why wouldn't you have a threesome? She'd be like, cause I can only this is still true, I can only fuck if I love you, like I hump with my heart, and
hump with my heart.
So like I couldn't process the idea of someone else being there.
That's a great pickup line if they exist anymore.
So
hey babe, I hump with my heart.
Or what? Are you saying you don't masturbate?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I think he's saying that when he masturbates, he like aggressively punishes his dick every time.
Legitimately, like whenever
you don't deserve this.
I've literally ended with like, this doesn't matter and neither do you. So that's where I'm at in life. But like I can't process like the idea. It's a very intimate thing. I don't even like taking my shirt off at the beach, so clearly it's a big deal for me. And then now someone else is there that I don't love, and then it's like, well, what if it was? Then she brought up the idea, what if it's a clone of me? And be like, but what happens later? Like, does she get a job? Like, do we take care of her because she's also you?
This clone bitch. Now do we got to take care of this clone
yeah.
bitch? What's
and
going
then she was
on
like,
with this
what
one? Hey, your pussy done split in 2. You done grew another you.
And then her final argument was like, what if the clone like just did this thing and then didn't exist anymore, and it just like disappears, poof, no one gets hurt, she doesn't actually die because she never existed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of life is that?
Yeah,
you just exist, get fucked, and disappear. Like I couldn't wrap my head around
that ethereal pussy is strong, son.
And so if you really do think I beat my dog, think about like all this emotional, I don't want to upset people that goes, of course I don't hit my dog that hard.
He's throwing back. Can we do a callback to the dog slap?
I am the king of tags, man.
Like, people think I beat my dog.
Well, there's certain dogs that I mean are like fucking just made of like pure muscly beef, dude, and you like watch them discipline each other by like beating the shit out of each other. So it's, I don't know, man. I don't know where I stand on that. I don't have a dog.
But if it's like Mike's a pit bull, that dog was crazy.
Yeah, that dog snapped on people, man. Poor guy.
Yeah,
Mike found him on the porch, pissing all over himself.
I never felt comfortable around that dog. It was always about to kill me.
Yeah, it wanted you, dude. It wanted a piece of you. I was like the only dude he was cool around. He snapped at me one time, and I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm out. I'm not dealing with that again. Oh, shit. I'm not getting my jugular fucking snap. It's a big pit bull. He's a good pup, though, man. It sucks that it turned out like that.
It was a cool dog, but
yeah,
like, at the same time, it scared the fuck out. Like once Mike told the dog I was cool, it was okay, kind of. But still, I felt the dog was watching me the whole time.
Yeah,
ready,
dude.
Like,
hey, this dog would like jump up on like chicks and like plow them over on the TV, like do the full jump.
I'm still trying to load the Twitch.
Really, dude?
No, it could just be my phone. Do you have to have a Twitch account?
I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely going.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I got a notification on my phone that we were live.
All right, man. My phone's fucking weird. The front camera doesn't work, so I have to send a picture to somebody. I have to like turn it around selfie style and get out of it and just be like, "This is what we have for dinner."
I just got this fucking switched over to the Samsung now. I'm off the iPhone T.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me, and the camera's like fucking awesome or whatever.
The camera's dope, but I can't fucking use it right now because I can't figure out how to turn off the autofocus in these apps that you use to turn your camera into a webcam. Like you can't adjust the focus, so it's just sitting there, and every time somebody moves, it's like doing some fucking weird shit.
Don't move. Just be about that voice, bro.
Yeah, I can't. I got a fucking spinny chair here.
Gotta zoom. Oh, we gotta switch up your chair game. Zoom all the way in on the lips. All you see is the lips moving.
And you're just talking into the thing.
Don't move your head.
Don't move. The lips moving. That's the whole problem right there, man. Zooming in on the lips.
Oh, is it? It can't
That'd be the most movement possible.
The moving lips was the most annoying Nickelodeon commercial ever.
You talking about the face thing?
I fucking hated it.
In between face?
Creeped me out. Definitely creeped me out.
Face was a little weird.
And
just a disembodied face that talks to you.
Yeah, I fucking hate that thing.
It's very bizarre. All those kid shows were bizarre, though, man. They were all made by dudes on acid, just influencing everybody's children. It's just influenced by guys just burned out on acid, drawing fucking crazy pictures and shit, and making dumb voices. There's literally a crazy man.
Yo, Christian, this thing started happening again.
35 different. Really?
Oh, Christian, why? Do we have any comments?
I don't think so, dude.
Fix it. You fix it. You fix it.
You did it.
I got it. I think I got it. Is it fixed again? What the fuck is going on with this shit? I got too much stuff going on, as you can see, man. I got this fucking operation. It's a weird shape. It's like a ship that has a bunch of holes in it. I got to run around and like plug a fucking hole over here, and then I got a fucking toe over here and a finger over there, and I'm trying to keep it all together, man.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you guys?
The weirdest thing ever in my life?
Oh, it's the weird, like, oh, that was fucked up, or like, that was weird. Tell me about this.
Literally, dude. Melvin the Noob Slayer. What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you? Type it in while we're thinking.
Yeah, Melvin.
I don't know.
Come on, Mel.
I'm trying to think, man. My life's so goddamn uneventful.
I got a weird thing. It's probably not the most weird thing that's ever happened to me in my life, because those are the kind of things you got to spark. You got to like remind me of all the weird stuff that's happened to me.
We were getting for a reason.
Too much weird stuff has happened. But the one thing that comes to mind is that high school, I dated this girl for a super long time. She cheated on me.
I'm sorry.
No, happens, right? Then
He's still not over it. He's still not over it.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you'll see where the story eventually goes. Then kind of like let it go for a year, and I couldn't do anything. I had no game. Ended up a year later back with her, kind of. She cheated on me with my new best friend. Oh yeah, by the way, she cheated on me with my best friend. I hooked up after that, and then she cheated on me a year later with my next best friend. I got some shitty friends. And,
you both have a type.
That really happened?
Yeah, that really happened. It was first David Young, and then it was well, I'm not gonna spit out all these names.
Well, karma certainly worked all that out.
Let's not talk about that guy. So
karma certainly worked all that out for you, Sterling. I think I'd say it's all even now at this point.
Well,
context.
Probably not, but it's a little. Yeah, it was a little in. But anyways, so I had this other best friend that I'd lived with for a long time. Me and this girl have been broken up forever. She calls me like a couple months back, and she's like, "You remember this guy?" I was like, "Of course I remember my best friend," but I was like, "Is that guy crazy?" She goes, "What are you saying?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. He seems like he did a bunch of acid. Is he crazy now?" And she's like, "No, but I'm dating him." I was like, "What? You're dating my next best friend?" Like, so now she's fucking my best friend who used to fuck her cousin, dude. It's a weird, fucked up world.
Jesus Christ, man. That's I think like
Christian is doing the thing again.
What?
I'll fix it.
How about now?
Good.
All right. Good call on just catching it early. Yeah, dude, I think she was like using you to just feel out who she was gonna bang next. She was like, "All right, Sterling, put me to my next guy that I want to bang."
Like? That's what I.
Who do you want to be compared to most?
Who does he really like? Yeah, I want you to pick guys for me. Basically, is what she was doing. You were just picking guys for her. She's like, "Oh yeah, he's really great. You really like him? Okay."
You got a good chance. You got a good chance, Christian.
What's that?
You
With
can
her,
bang
buddy.
this chick.
Dude, hey, listen, man. I just want to let you know that you got a pretty good chance right now because I'm digging you. You're a nice guy. You know, I feel like we're getting closer, and I feel like you're also getting closer to randomly banging my girlfriend while I'm not there, and I'll find out about it later. And it'll be cool in the end. It's all good. Don't
And it'll
worry.
just be like, so that's what this feels like.
What's the craziest thing? What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you? You got something in mind?
Just keeping it going. So the only eventful years I've had were when I was in the Marine Corps. And so we're in Okinawa jungle warfare training. This is the funniest thing we've ever done in the field. And by this point in time, my CO had found out that I've been doing stand-up for a couple of years. And so we were Op 4 because mortars, it's the thing that goes or whatever. So you visualize it.
Just got to follow. Twitch. That's what's up.
Fucking nailed it.
That's what's up.
Oh, you just showed up at the right time. I was going to tell my sweet, weird story.
And, sweet sound effects ready to go.
So we were Op 4, which means we're basically running around in the jungle as the bad guys. But he gave me a character, and I was a Canadian drug lord who specialized in moose antlers. And he told me I had to be in character, and I was like, fuck it. If you just lets me be belligerent all day, I'll fucking do it.
I wish it was Moose Knuckles.
Oh, God. If there's two things I love, it's hacky and fucking. And so we took cami paint, and I had a handlebar mustache that went all the way down because I was just going to be in character. And German just came back. The entire time I was just talking like this and just, I took some sugar packets from the MREs, diced it up, and snorted a line because I knew there was a recon team looking at us. And I was like, I'm going to put on a fucking show. Duh, Bears. And
really, just watching you try to maintain that accent and not veer off into some European dialect.
Oh, God, the tangents are real. They're both mental.
You were teetering the line there
vocal.
for a minute. I enjoyed that.
And so I'm just in character, and what was going to happen is, all right,
There's no call-in. Sorry, bro.
Is we sat up on top of this hill, and we were going to hide there the rest of the night. There was a platoon searching for us through the jungle, and so once we got there, no more talking. Like, it literally was just like, that's how we communicated, and somehow we got shit done. There's a stump in the middle of this hill. And then we all circled around the stump. And for Firewatch, you'd stay up for your hour, wake up the next guy, and be like, "It's your fucking hour." And then that's how we did. And then I got bored and went off to masturbate silently in the jungle. And they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And I drew a stick figure. I showed it to them, and I came back covered in sweat. And they're like, "Did you do it?" And I was just. And then even the executive officer of the entire company saw it and was just kind of impressed. Like, dude. He knows what he's about. He's a very lonely person, and there's no one to go home to. And we're back, and and so we're circled around this thing, and we're not allowed to make any noise. So even the breathing was silent, and we just nod and communicate through just massive exaggeration of your mouths. And then we hear it was actually my roommate who was in the squad. We hear them coming close to us, and we have to be quiet. We can't.
For a second, I was like, "Wait, how many people are jerking off?"
That was my bad for misleading the story.
I was like, wait a minute, what's going on now, dude?
But we hear them approaching our position, and we have to stay hidden, so we all just get down as low as we can. And they're at the bottom of this hill, and we can hear them walking, and I can hear my stupid fucking roommate's dumb face, and his dumb beautiful face. And then while they're passing us, Joseph or Joe, because we won't use his name, the Haitian. That's better.
Haitian.
He just stands up and starts patting, and we're just like, Joseph, shut the fuck up. And he's just
doing a slap dance.
Yeah. And then we're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But except we said it, and he understood it.
Pep rally shit.
And then he just stood up and started doing this, and he starts pointing. We're like, what? And he does this. And we're like, oh, fuck, there's a snake there. This is in Okinawa. It's in the jungle, so they have coral snakes there, which is red touch yellow. kill a fellow. There's one snake, I think it was the coral one, where if it bites you, what the doctor will do is hand you a phone and you call whoever's most important to you in your life at that moment. The last 7 years is up. Callbacks for days, man.
7 years, dude.
And so he's just like starts to, right there, and then we're just like, what the fuck? Shh, I know. and then somebody just pulls out a hatchet, and he's the Crocodile Dundee of the group, and he's just like, he even like pepped himself up like he was actually WWE, just like step back.
I got this.
Or whatever, and he like takes the hatchet or axe, whichever you prefer, sometimes both, like sporks. He took the hacks, and he hits it down, and you just hear this big thud because it wasn't a very sharp one. So now this thing's just like pissed off but very limp, and it's a baby snake. It doesn't know how much venom to use, so it just says, all of it!
Yeah.
And so like we can't touch this fucking thing. And then like we're all just like, oh fuck, like we're gonna die, like, and we can't make noise because we're very into character. We don't want to get caught by our own friends that we live with. And so he like takes the hatchet and like scoops it on the back and like flings it. And then we had to get rid of the snake because dead snakes attract more snakes for some reason. And so we have to get rid of it. And then he flings it and it smacks Joe square in the chest and falls. And all of us silently. Yeah, he meant to fling it like down the hill.
What the fuck? That's
and
the
all
biggest
of us,
fuck up ever. He just
threw a
accidentally
venomous
flung
snake
a venomous snake at me,
that's
you
not
dumbass.
quite dead yet at another human
yeah,
being.
what's your fucking
And it's a very patient snake because he sat on it for like 2 whole hours before it moved and made us aware of it. And he flings it at our friend in the chest, and we're dying laughing, like legitimately rolling on the floor. We raffled for days. But we're all laughing completely silently because they're still at the bottom of the hill. So while this is all going on, there are people hunting us down. And then we like fling it, and we're pretty sure it almost hit some guy at the bottom of the hill. But we just start dying laughing for the next 3 hours, completely silent. Just
nobody broke.
No one broke.
Damn.
And we're just like, I saw it too.
That's like a thing where it's like everybody knows, like, don't be the guy to break now. Like we've all gotten this far through this snake thing. It's like if you break now, you're probably gonna get called the squeancher.
You're gonna
squeanch.
It was the funniest fucking thing.
That's crazy.
Having a live snake thrown at somebody, it was great.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't really that crazy of a story, but I guess it's something. I was well, it just sounds douchey, dude. I never ever talk about like any time I've been to like Europe or fucking overseas or anything like that, just because it always sounds fucking douchey. Dude.
No, I get it. Like I deliberately, it makes sense for the story. The only time I bring up the Marine Corps is when it makes sense for the next thing I have to say. I hate doing it.
Yeah. Well,
there's like it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths sometimes, and I avoid it.
Well, this made me think of reptiles, and I was in Australia when I was like 14 or 15. My grandparents are marine biology people, so they got to go like on a research trip type thing. Well, I guess they just had to like write some papers while we were there, and then we got to hit like 3 different towns in Australia and go on like this fucking outback fucking.
Were you up north?
I was in Darwin.
I was in Darwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I was in Darwin, Cairns, and Sydney. So anyway, we got in this fucking like it was like a what do you call it? A Land Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where you sit on like the sides in the back and you're like facing each other in the back of it. And we got in there. It was just us, me and my grandparents, and this Canadian couple. And fucking this grizzled ass, leathery ass, like straight up Crocodile Dundee looking guy. I know it sounds ridiculous, dude, but it was like, wow, this guy is the closest thing to Crocodile Dundee you're going to fucking get. Like, visually, he looked like the motherfucker. And he was just getting us in all these crazy situations and showing all this shit. He was just a hard-ass guy, and he didn't really give a fuck. So he takes us to this watering hole, man, and the whole way he's, like, showing us these saltwater traps and shit for the saltwater crocs because they're the big ones that just fucking eat people like it ain't shit.
Yeah.
And there's the fresh ones.
The crocodiles eat the sharks.
Yeah, there's the fresh ones that are kind of, they'll fuck you up, but they're not as aggressive or whatever, dude. And he takes us to this watering hole, man, and he's like, yeah, we're eating here. And we're all swimming, and there's a fucking sign. I literally have a picture of me as a 14-year-old kid next to this sign that says there's alligators in here. Swim at your own fucking risk, dude. And he's like, nah, man, it's cool. There's no alligators or whatever, dude. And then we swim all the way across, dude, to like this waterfall, beautiful fucking just chilling under it. It was so sick, right? And we're out there at the other side, and he's just hanging out, enjoying himself. And there's this cave thing, like carved into this fucking mountainside, like in the water pond thing. And I was like, I'm gonna swim over there and go into this cave. It looks fucking awesome. And he's like, nah, don't do that. And I was just like, what, dude? He's like, nah, just don't do that. And I was like, why? He's like, well, that's where they're gonna be. That's where they are. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know if he was just fucking with me or not, bro. But the swim back, dude, I literally like almost hyperventilated. I probably almost drowned myself because of how frantically I was swimming back. Like I was swimming probably super inefficiently because I was just I was feeling shit under my chest, dude. I've never been that fucking frightened in my whole life. It's when that guy told me that there's crocodiles in this water, and after I had fucking swam across the whole goddamn pond thing, there's no other way out but to swim back. It's like, what a fucking asshole, dude. That's the douchiest thing you could ever. That's some total, like, Australian outback driving around motherfucker shit to do. Just fuck with some kid, too. He probably was fucking with me.
No, they're everywhere.
I would imagine, dude.
Yeah.
That place sounds like it's fucking
We were
scary.
at this thing, we were camping out, and we'd look out behind us. We were in Mount Bundy, which is just flatlands. They were there during dry season. It's pretty much a dried up lake bed.
Yeah.
And we look out, and we see all of these tiny lights in the ground looking right back at us. We're like, what the fuck is that? And then we shine a light, and every single one of those lights was a fucking big ass spider.
Fuck that shit, dude. I'd shit my pants, maybe. Could be the time. That could be the moment when you're just like, I give,
just like,
dude.
I'm getting in my bag. Don't touch me.
I'm done with this. Fuck it. I'm gonna shit. I heard that. I just recently heard that alligators grow infinitely. If they don't die, they'll just keep growing. Like they
like
starve
weird
to death.
dinosaurs
Well,
like that. But
eventually, they get so big that they can't sustain their own weight anymore, and they starve to death. It's the only way that crocodiles die naturally is by starving to death. Otherwise, they will just keep growing infinitely. And that's why the ones in captivity can get like 17 feet long. Dude, I saw some alligator in this fucking zoo when I was there, dude. Like when you're younger, because I was 14 at the time, so I'm sure my perspective made it even bigger than it was, dude.
Yeah.
But dude, it looked like it was animatronic. Like, it was fucking insane. Like, they had to just feed it a whole deer every day, and it just laid there, dude. Like, it looked like this thing never moved ever. Like, it maybe rolled up on the side or something for like half a second, and it was just like, it just looked like the laziest, fattest, most miserable creature, dude. It's just fucking huge. It was just a glutton.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Just a disposal machine. They're just fucking throwing kangaroos in there, whatever they can find, dude. Like, just get something in there, man. All right, what do you got? Anything else, Stirs? You guys want to wrap up? I'm going 2.5 hours. We can keep talking. I don't give a fuck.
All right, fuck. Jesus.
You want to wrap it? He just cut out.
This is on you, Hitler Youth.
He just cut out.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Oh, he's smiling. That's nice.
Swiss boy.
Swiss?
Are you Norwegian?
Norwegian.
Is that what it is? Is it Norwegian?
Norwegian. Yeah.
How much?
Yeah,
I'm sure you're the kind of guy that got the fucking test.
Yeah, I told you I did the test. We talked about this like on 3 podcasts. You don't remember shit.
Refresh me, dude. I told you. It's not important. Why would I remember how fucking much Norwegian you are, dude?
I don't know. Because we talked about it 3 podcasts.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, how important is that for me to know now?
Because these podcasts are memorable.
Yeah, that's for...
subscribe.
Podcasts are for other people with memories.
My dad's 50-50... So I should have technically a quarter.
We'll never know, dude. We'll never know. It just cut out. We're never going to ever find out. You guys can guess and... What's that?
Yeah, just cut out right at the cusp of information.
Yeah. It always cuts out the most important part. It's brilliant.
Well, just tune in next week. Tune in next week. We'll cover
next week we'll find out exactly how genetically superior Sterling is to everyone else.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can't say it like that because then it makes it sound like we're a eugenics podcast.
I'm just saying out of all the white people, because I can just speak on behalf of the whites here, that's probably the ideal white gene, right?
His teeth are kind of fucked up.
Yeah, look at it. You should see his body there, dude. He's just all lean muscle.
Oh, dude, my roommate, back abs.
What's that? Back abs,
back
dude?
abs.
What is he?
South African.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's just this beautiful South African man.
It's a white dude?
Yep. He's South African.
So he's originally British, though, I guess. Like, where do they come from? They're Anglo-Saxon, I guess?
No, he was born. I don't know his family tree because even if he told me 3 times on a podcast, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. Turn the light off. I'm paying for electricity.
Yeah, it wasn't just some mysterious white folks that just popped up down there.
But he's legitimately like born from South African, and when he was a kid, his parents thought it'd be really funny if they told him on like applications and shit, or like whenever you took those whatever tests that you have to put in your race, they told him to put African American because he technically was, and they thought it was the funniest thing, and he didn't understand, so he kept putting it for a really long time.
I mean, technically, dude, he's more African American than most people.
Yeah,
technically, right?
I had a teacher in either elementary school or in high school that told everyone in the class to put Pacific Islander on the thing. Like,
why?
I don't know. He thought it would be funny if like all of a sudden there's a bunch of specific island on this standard
class
on this standardized test. Well, they wouldn't know it was like the class.
You'd fucking skew you'd fuck everything up for him, dude.
Oh, shit.
I did it though. I did it. And I've done it. I did it a couple times after that too, because I actually thought that was legitimately funny. I'm sure that the teacher was just joking. I wasn't supposed to really do that.
You're the only one. And he's like, this dumb bitch. But he can't confront you about it, because then he'd have to admit that he fucked up. He's getting a PhD, you guys.
Smartest dude I know. It's not
nowadays,
good.
if they have a write-in for gender, I always put Pixiekin. Every time. Pixiekin.
That's fun, but they have to take into account for that now. Now there's a P.
There's just a guy losing his mind, but like they keep making more shit that I gotta type up for the next flyer.
Yeah, man. This guy's getting mad. He's like
Pixiekin, the fuck.
He's just creating people that are like fucking gender hatred people. What do you call it? Like not a racist, but like a gender racist.
I think
I'm
we
sure
just
there's
say
a hot
racist.
word for that. Yeah, you just say racist for everything now, right? If you make me mad, you're just a fucking racist, dude. Anyways.
Yeah. You want to get guys? You really were this probably. Because we're in South Carolina, this probably piss people off. You guys want to talk bump stocks?
What?
Bump stocks.
Bump stocks?
Yeah.
Bump stocks.
Yeah, I mean, they're just real. Like, you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. That's just, just the way it is.
Of it?
You mean like the thing that is for recoil on a assault rifle?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know what it is, it's basically a thing that it replaces your buttstock on a rifle, and it surrounds the grip, or from what I remember last time I saw a picture at it. But it basically, when you pull the trigger of a rifle, it uses that pressure to push pretty much the entire frame of it backwards and then forwards, which means the trigger is just falling back into your finger. So it's how you take a semi-automatic weapon and make it full auto. And now they're worth a lot more because everyone thinks the government's about to take them away and shit. But yeah, it's basically a way to get around the rule. You can't own something fully automatic unless you have a class whatever license. And so the government defines fully auto or semi-automatic as one firing per trigger manipulation. So there's a thing called a binary trigger where it pulls, when you pull the trigger it goes off, when you release the trigger it goes off, because that's one manipulation per fire. And the people got around the buttstock thing. It's just a fake way of getting around full auto laws. What do you guys think about it?
Well,
honestly, dude,
it's not. You can bump stock without even having a bump stock, because all you're doing is just using.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a thing?
You could just pull the trigger a whole bunch. Honestly, like that's way easier than installing a new thing. But a lot of people are like bump stock should be illegal, and fuck it, go not. The only reason I would not give a shit if they made it legal is because they were $60 about a month ago, and now they're $300 because everyone's trying to buy one now that it's in the fucking news, and that's not why you should buy a goddamn thing.
Like why? All right, so why would anybody buy one though? Like, what's the main use out of it? Just for fun, basically. Yeah.
If you're like,
I mean, I get it. I know the guns are fun. Like, I totally understand that. But yeah, man, I don't fucking know.
A lot of gun laws are really, really weird. And they don't really address anything, which is third graders who can't read good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny business that happens with it, man. I feel like it's kind of.
It's illegal to if your barrel is shorter than 16 inches, it is technically considered a pistol. Why 16 inches? I have no fucking idea. So if it's a pistol, then you cannot have a buttstock on it. I guess they're trying to make sure you can't go in with a rifle that has a barrel this long and take it to a nightclub in Florida or whatever. Yeah. So it's technically a pistol. You can't have a buttstock. So we're smart, and we figure out, all right, if they're saying it's not a buttstock, then they make a thing that's shaped like a buttstock. I'm like, nah, dude, it's a brace. It's supposed since it's a pistol, you have to hold it like a pistol so it braces against your arm. You just get around every gun law.
That's what I feel like is just if people want to kill people, they're going to figure out a way to do it. And so they're going to make a bomb or get the gun or whatever way that they can round up. They're going to figure out a way to do it, whether they have to drive a car or crash a plane or whatever it is. Yeah. There's ways to kill people. It's not the problem isn't it's the people.
You can't police
the problem is the
stupid. And like gun laws, I do like the common sense gun laws that they're not. You should always have a background check. Even if you have
I like the driver's
carry.
license thing, where it should be kind of similar to just the same amount of bullshit you got to go through to get a driver's license should be the same amount of bullshit you got to go through at least to get a fucking gun. Like do some.
I like South
training.
Carolina laws just because the idea is it's your money it's your life. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. The moment I'm involved is you've gone too far.
What do they do? Like, what's the laws here? I'm just not familiar with most of this shit.
To carry, there's no open carry, which is a courtesy. Don't make people uncomfortable just because you have a shrimp dick.
You can't open carry here?
Not in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But to concealed carry, you have to take a test, and I watch people take these tests at my job, and the test should be a lot harder. Because you cannot fail that test. It's so fucking easy.
Yeah. You should have to it should be like an intelligence.
Yeah.
Based
it should be more
too. There
than
should be
an
a little
8-hour
bit
course.
of that. Yeah, it should be a little bit more of like answering maybe some problem solving.
But I like
fucking scenarios or something.
couple
critical thinking, like the long form questions that are at the back of the SAT.
Just the accuracy,
the extra
alone
ones
to pass the shooting portion of the test. Like that's the thing. Because really, you just have to be able to shoot and know the law. Like I know that I can't carry here, here, and here. But you should be able to shoot a lot better than is required. Jesus, like you should be able to thread the needle at a really far distance if you're going to carry openly in public places, because you're going to think you're fucking Rambo, and you're not.
That's the only thing that worries me about like everybody having fucking guns, dude. It's like fucking
but South
Johnny
Carolina
do-gooders that think they're gonna fucking save everybody's life, and they end up fucking shooting me in my ass because they're trying to fucking get the bad guy.
The one thing I really like about Carolina laws
They've never been in a combat situation. Sorry.
Yeah, like there's this good thing. It's called castle law or whatever. You're in your own house. You're in your own car, so you're within the vicinity of your property, or you're in private land that you have permission from the owner. So your job, or if you're just at a friend's house and he's like, yeah, of course you don't shoot people. Then you're allowed to carry because it's your place to be. No one's going to tell you can't carry in your stupid house.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's uncomfortable to sit on the couch carrying, but whatever. I watch Saving Private Ryan and I get into it, you know. But I
only watch Narcos with a pistol in my hand for fucking.
That's how you get into character. I'm with these people.
I get fucking cornstarch on a mirror and I'm just fucking chopping it up.
But the cool thing is, like, the moment you step outside of your house, like if we saw somebody who was breaking in, but they're outside the house, you don't get to go outside and do anything because we all agreed as adults, like, that's the time you should be calling the fucking cops.
Yeah.
Once they're inside the house, you're protecting your loved ones, your possessions, yourself. Someone's breaking in a house, so clearly they're hostile.
You can't like run out in your yard.
Yeah, and you can't like shoot through the window because like you're not gonna call that shot.
Yeah.
And so if they're outside the house, we as lawmakers were like, call the fucking cops, idiot. Like, don't look for trouble. And if you go outside looking for trouble, we're dragging your ass out too.
How big do you think the difference is between someone's accuracy in a situation where they're just chilling at the gun range, or as opposed to somebody that's like in a fucking
huge
crazy like situation where their adrenaline's shot through the fucking roof? Like, how hard, dude? Because you'd be shaking, right?
Yeah. The biggest thing is you have to practice enough to where you have muscle control. Like you're running, you're out of breath, but I know in the shoulder, hand here, go.
Yeah.
Because I used to have to practice that a dick shitload. But the people who practice at a shooting range that I work at, they can't hit shit anyway. Which, by the way, I see cops come through, and I look at their targets because they're too fucking lazy to throw it away themselves, and they walk out bragging
black
like,
teenagers.
"I blew." No, the cops were black. How did you know that? Weirdly, but in
the cops were unarmed black
teenagers.
So the tables have turned.
and their target looked like someone just put holes in every fucking section that they possibly could, which means, by the way, their target was only 5 yards out, so from me to that wall, and they couldn't hit the same fucking spot, or at least this much of the same fucking spot at 5 yards twice. You had to goddamn pepper spray the whole thing. The fuck? These are people trained to use firearms, and so they can't handle that. So now you put stress on top of the situation, and you're not going to line up your sights correctly. You're not going to be aiming correctly. You're going to get tunnel vision, and that's where a lot of shit goes in, where people aren't trained to handle stress very well.
So, like, shouldn't that be incorporated? Because it's like, if the whole point is for self-defense, and it's like, dude, if you want to use it to defend yourself, but the odds are, majority of the people that are buying that gun have no clue how crazy it's going to be if they are in a situation. Like, they have no clue how much they're going to be shaking.
You should always avoid the situation. Like, if you break into my house and I'm not in that room, like, you just stole that shit. I'm not going to fucking... No, I will shoot you. But
I was about to say, I'd strongly doubt.
But
I feel like you would be shooting somebody in this situation.
I used to live with some friends in a 2-story house, and if we were upstairs, then you just stole what was ever downstairs. I'm not going to come looking for you, and until you are a threat to the other people in this house that I care about, then I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, because
I hope my computer's not downstairs.
Because literally then, like, they might not have been violent before, but now they're going to accidentally shoot you, or somebody's going to get shot, and that's not worth whatever you're going to lose.
No one has to die because I didn't lock a door properly or whatever.
Yeah, and I wanted to save my Xbox from...
Yeah, like, no one gives a fuck. Like, just get a PlayStation.
No, that's true, though, because, I mean, think about it, man. If you just run out like I'm gonna go defend my family with this gun,
it's
like
those people that ruin it for the rest of us.
Well, dude, you get into a gunfight.
And the shooters.
You get into a gunfight with some fucking guy in your house, dude, in the middle of the night because you just woke up and ran in there with your gun. You're in a gunfight now. There's bullets flying everywhere. Like potentially your kids, your wife, all kinds of crazy shit could happen. I wonder, like,
shoot through drywall.
It's like it would make it way worse having 2 guns in there than even just the 1 gun.
Yeah, like I have
unless
like,
you're just a fucking what do you call it, John Wick type character. And,
yeah.
Which in that case,
like I have a good number of guns in my house, and my roommate is someone from the Marine Corps, so I don't have kids running around. So there's literally one in like every reachable spot in the house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I have enough to do it.
It's just fuck it. It's just kind of cool. People walk in, they're like, ooh.
Yeah, we have one right by the door. So because if you're knocking on our door, you're not supposed to. We never invite anyone over, and if we do, we know they go through the garage. So no one should knock on our door for any reason whatsoever. So there's one there. There's just one if I'm in the kitchen.
I'm just picturing you and your roommate, like, the dishes are full, and you're like, who's going to do the dishes, bro? And you're like, I did them last week. You're like, no, I did them last week. And the next thing you know, it just escalates. You guys are both just holding guns to each other's heads. Like,
that almost happened, and we were like, this is that line.
I'll do it this time.
This is that line we talked about. We crossed this line.
You guys settle it like that every time. That'd be fucking hilarious.
But most people who own firearms can't aim for shit, and then they get confident, which is incredibly misguided. And then you add the stress of an actual scenario on top of it because I actually got this book because I'm going to have to give a speech for one of my classes about why PTSD is like 50% higher than it is now.
Yeah.
This is a book called On Combat, which is the psychological stress of going through the military or of being in a combat situation. And your brain actually tries to protect you from ending a human life. It's no matter how much it's happened in history, it's not a natural act for a human to kill another human being. So in Vietnam, they actually found out there was an issue with when people would pull the trigger at the very last second, their brain, their subconscious, forced them to miss the shot. So that way they couldn't process what they were about to see next because it didn't want to handle it.
Yeah.
So your brain's going to have to go through that, and you have to override that really quickly. And then you have to have the muscle memory to be, I already know where this is. I already know how my grip's supposed to be. I know that when I have my hands at this point, that my sights are aligned, and I'm looking down them at this person, then I pull the trigger. No one's going to remember that shit.
Yeah, dude, there's like, that's got to happen like once every fucking
it's
10
a science.
years, maybe, right? Like that somebody would pull that off, actually being the vigilante guy that takes. I mean, I'm sure it happens. But
if you look at those stupid videos of just like this is why we need the Second Amendment or whatever, like I don't care anything about the videos, but there's two versions of those videos. There's like that old guy who takes his revolver and he starts doing this at people who broke into some computer internet cafe. And people are like, he did such a good job. They're like, no, he's not. He has absolutely no muzzle control. He doesn't know where he's aiming. He's trying to fling the bullet out of the gun for some reason. He's holding his gun sideways.
That got stuck.
He has absolutely no grip on it, and he's not aiming, and he doesn't know what's on the other side of the people he's shooting at, i.e. other people. And then you see the video of, like, check this dude out. A dude pushes him aside and tries to rob a convenience store, and he looks at it, kind of scratches his head a little bit, takes 2 steps to the side, and then draws and pulls because he made sure that there was no one fucking behind him because he had the goddamn sensibility to think of that first.
Yeah, he's probably like military trained too or something.
And those old people that you see that you don't want to talk to anymore because they smell like mothballs and they're just going to be like, back in my day, those are the ones that are carrying. You know, old Mick, let me sign this receipt real quick. He's got a gun, and he has a concealed carry because the test is too fucking easy to fail.
His dementia is slowly setting in, and
you
know what? Everybody around here is starting to look like gooks to me.
Yeah, that guy. And nothing against carrying. It's just, be good at it.
You can just picture some guy losing it in the bank.
There's a guy who has a concealed carry, comes in, and he's consistently bought ammo for the wrong gun. Like 6 out of 7 times he shows up.
He's just gonna
like he's got a revolver
on him or something. He's gonna kill himself.
Or no, he has like a 45, but he keeps buying ammo for a revolver every fucking time he comes in. And I know he does it. I'm still gonna make him pay for it because it's hilarious to me. We don't do refunds. Ammo sales are final.
Really?
And every single time he buys it. I just fucking.
Why are
laughing,
ammo
like,
sales final? Tamper with the bullets or something?
No, yeah. You're not gonna return ammo, especially if you walk out the store with it. We don't know what you did with it. It's kind of just so it's store policy. So
okay, I just didn't know if like people like fucking what are they doing to these bullets?
But the amount of like stupidity that I see with people who have guns, and it's always the guy who's like, I'm an NRA member. We're like, well, that's a fucking club. And then there's the dudes that are just like, I'm actually an NRA instructor, and what an NRA instructor means is you paid $50 to go to a course, and what that course tells you is don't point the gun at your fucking face. And then you pay that $50 so they send you a certificate. That's what being an NRA instructor means.
Don't point
It's a fucking gun club, and you paid your membership. That's all it means.
Don't
it
point
means
it
at
your face.
Yeah.
Point it at your dick.
Like,
actually,
so NRA does
definitely
nothing.
don't point at your dick.
I dragged this out.
No. I'm just thinking about that, man. Like,
that being said, I really, really do enjoy shooting.
No.
I own a good number of guns, and I'm planning on buying a specific thing because I don't know how to use it, and it'll make me better.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these guys are like, all right, you got like your military dudes who have been trained with weapons who fucking.
It's actually hot garbage in a dumpster fire. Most of them are fucking stupid.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, that's most people, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still have your fraction of those guys who are like, no, what they're doing at least, and then you have a bunch of dudes who never did all that work, and who just got all the guns still and just played at their fucking farm or wherever.
They play Call of Duty too much.
Or they play Call of Duty too much. Or no, even like the older guys that like identify with the gun culture, but they haven't done anything.
The people
with
like
it,
45 is God's caliber. You gotta shoot the bigger round because that makes a bigger hole in a bigger target.
Yeah.
No, actually 45 hits a lot less than 9mm because fucking science, you dumb turd. The amount of force that you get hit with.
Gun shit coming out right
force
there.
Force equals speed weight plus speed squared divided by 2.
Is what?
Is how hard
fucked you are?
How hard it hits you, basically.
How fucked?
And so people are like, 45, it's a big ass round. It'll make it. Actually, 45 goes about 800 feet per second, and it weighs maybe 150, 160 grains. 9mm weighs 115 grains, but it goes 1,300 feet per second. You tell me scientifically which one hits fucking harder. Right.
I don't know.
Stop being old.
Is it mass or speed that
goes?
Speed.
Speed is squared. So 1,300 multiplied by 1,300 or 800 multiplied by 800.
Oh, okay, but the mass of the thing doesn't matter. Like
the mass,
actual...
then you add the mass, but...
So what's the point of using that, just for dick purposes?
I actually know why
like
45 was, or why the 1911 and why the 45 was so popular. So I looked it up because I had to know about ammo and shit, and it's the dumbest fucking story. So the 1911, when you play zombies, the first gun you start with, that's been around since 1911. After like
my friend bought one of those. He's a gun guy. That's what he had.
They're really nice and they're good for competitions.
He got an AK. But he got a fucking 1911.
Yeah, but
they probably never used it.
In like early 1900s, after enough white people killed enough Indian people, we decided. I shouldn't say we, but white people.
Hey, take it easy. I didn't do none of that shit.
I wasn't born yet, and but they were like, we need to stop using revolvers. We've heard about these semi-auto things that just load themselves. And so a couple of different types of ammo were brought in. There was 9mm because that's over 100 fucking years old now. And then Colt brought in 45. And they tested the rounds. And the way they tested these rounds was literally they would just, instead of putting the cork out, they would just shoot fucking cows and start a timer and see which one dropped first.
What? Cows are getting fucked up, man.
And then the next test was they'd hang cadavers from trees. You picture what color they used because they were very racist back then. I actually don't know what they used, but
dude?
they
hung black people from trees.
I made the implication. Jesus. They hung cadavers from trees, shot them, and then measured how far it swung back. And those bad experiments based off of no science whatsoever, that's how 45 got picked because it happened to swing further. Or whatever, or drop the cow sooner. And then
so that's just like the racist fucking sentiment is just like, I just want to have a Colt 45
I made up the part about black people. Just
no, I'm running with that. Running deep with that.
Yeah.
That's why we want that. No, that's the reason why everybody wants those 1911s, dude. Because they're like, I mean, I want the one that they.
I mean, cops use Glock. But and then so 45 swung better, And so Colt made a pistol specifically for the 45 and the 1911. That's why it was used since 1911 till the 80s when they switched to Beretta. And then 40 cal, which is what most cop uses, that's even funnier because it's based off stupid people. So cops were still using revolvers until there was a big shootout in the 1980s. At some hotel, a bunch of feds and cops got schwacked, and they're like, we're the only ones who can't reload. We need to stop using revolvers. And
it's always the bad guys that get the best tech first, right?
And so they were going to switch to a new thing, and they're like, well, 45, whoa, that's a really big bullet. We don't know if we can handle that. So instead of using 9mm, which actually hits harder than 45 anyway, they created a new round called 40, which is just slightly smaller. But they're like, we don't want to lose that stopping power, so they just overloaded it with gunpowder. It's a high-pressure round. Whenever you shoot it, it pops up ridiculously. And people who shoot 40, like, just know you're shooting a gun based off of, we can't handle 45, and then bad science after that.
That is some serious gun nerd knowledge there, dude. You fucking, like, you're speaking fucking Chinese to me halfway
honestly,
through there.
I go down, like, a Wikipedia hole of looking stuff up. Cause
you're very knowledgeable on it.
And the biggest pet peeves with, like, the old dudes who come in, or any guy who comes in a gun store with a wife, girlfriend, just someone you want to make your girlfriend and you're trying to impress because you're a loser and bring her to a gun store to strut your dick that you don't have. Mad hate to the customers, man. And,
yeah, dude, you're like...
They're like, she needs a girl gun. You show me a gun with a dick, and I'll show you one without, and that'll be the girl gun.
You're like, hey, don't have anything weird on camera, but I am going to shit all over every single customer we have.
Yeah. And then, so, like, she needs a girl gun. Like, what does that mean? She needs a gun that's small.
Yeah.
But she needs to shoot one that's 45. Well, since 45 has X amount of gunpowder in it, it's going to kick like the Dickens, so let's go ahead and not tell her she needs that.
No, you want to tell her that so we can get a good YouTube video
She needs
out
a
of
girl caliber or whatever. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? No, stop shooting 45 because it costs more and doesn't do more damage. Stop.
So what is your take on the bump stocks then, ultimately?
I think because people only want them now because it's in the news, get rid of it. Just because fuck those people. But gun laws are stupid. And it's not.
Yeah,
gun laws are great, and we should have a lot of gun laws.
The current gun laws are stupid.
The current one, like, we already.
They're trying to get rid of all the guns. Is
like it's illegal to have shorter than 16 inches with a buttstock.
Let's get rid of all the herpes.
Yeah, it's stupid, especially because when a gun is technically a right to defend yourself in your own house. Don't go outside. Call the cops. Don't be an idiot. That's an education issue. And once you take that right away from other people, there are people who are still going to break the law anyway. And now you're fucked because you guys got really upset that one time.
Yeah. Keith here says that fucking the 1911 is so overrated. The cult following for that gun is insane. And he said its sales have seriously pumped up lately, which is probably from like fucking Call of Duty or like what do you call it? Not Counter-Strike and fucking.
Honestly, it's a big thing. Was it Keith?
Keith, yeah.
It's a legacy gun. Like they're really good for competitions because their trigger's like almost nothing.
It's a legacy gun.
No, it's just like CZs are really popular because some military stopped using it, so there's a surplus, and they have really, really good resale value. It's just that token. Like my roommate doesn't care about 1911s. First gun he bought because it's the 1911. You have to own one. And then a lot of people, like, did people come in like for the girl guns? They just want a small gun because it'll kick less. These two guns, one's this. All right, so let's say this is a gun.
He's pointing at my muscles. For people who are just listening, he's pointing at both of my arms.
Yeah, these guns. So you have a really big gun and a really small gun. One shoots, or they both shoot the same round. Which one do you think holds the recoil down more, big or small?
Probably the big one.
Right, because physics doesn't change when you're talking about guns.
Yeah,
so we want a small gun so it won't kick. Be like, what the fuck does that make sense? And then these poor old ladies who are buying guns that their husbands force on them. She needs a small revolver. Revolvers already kick like the fucking Dickens, and now you want to take a smaller one that can't hold the weight down? I won't shoot him.
What's an old lady doing with a gun, man?
Her husband.
Give me one example. He's like, what's she gonna protect herself from getting? No old ladies that are getting raped.
No, that's rude and
that's very rude and gross.
But a lot of them come in. They're like, hey, I'm a realtor. I'm alone in houses with strangers all the time. Like that makes sense. But it's just whenever guys bring their girlfriends in to pick out a gun for them based on not knowing simple things like bigger hold more weight. You can throw a rock, But can you throw a fucking boulder? Bigger shit holds down more energy, so it's going to kick less. Stop telling her she needs a revolver, because they're like, revolvers, you can't reload, or revolvers are easy to reload. Everyone stopped using revolvers because they got shot reloading.
Yeah, that's
what's the
one,
two. What are the bullets you're comparing?
45 and 9mm. Oh fuck, he looked it up. I'm gonna get called out.
Yeah, the 9mm.
Oh no, he didn't.
As much kinetic energy as the 45 because kinetic energy is 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So the 9mm is coming in at a velocity of about 380 meters per second, while the 45 is coming in around 800.
Oh no, that's no. Jesus, are those the numbers I gave you?
No, I looked them up.
Okay, no, 9mm travels at like, so I know feet per second because that's what's on the boxes that we have for ammo. The 45 standard American Eagle regular target shooting rounds. 45 travels about 800 feet per second. 9mm, 1,300 feet per second.
Dude, he's been fucking doing math for like the past
he's been gone for like this whole time.
That's what he's been doing this whole time. That's so fucking hilarious.
So God damn it! Now I gotta prove myself right. 1,300 feet per second.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Math, dude.
Yeah, well, 1,300 feet per second is only 380 meters per second. So unless
800 feet per second.
He does everything in fucking.
So 800 feet per second. What's that? Because that's what 45 is doing.
Oh, then 45 is going to be less, of course, if that is. But I thought I had the 45 at a.
Jesus, man, I got a cold sweat now.
Might be right. I might have got the 331 meters per second. Wait, am I doing this right?
Nerded up.
Operating speeds.
This is an ultimate showdown, dude. This is a climax.
No,
I
didn't know.
This is a climax.
I decided to go look it up because he was talking about it. I didn't notice. I'd never considered the kinetic
research
energy of a bullet.
later. Isn't that your song?
Wait, yeah, that is the song, dude. He listened to it and
dude,
he called
I'm
it back
about
to
it. I live it. You're not all about it.
The only true pistol caliber is a 50 cal. You ain't American if you ain't shooting a 50 cal.
Oh my God.
Did people come in there and buy a Desert Eagle? You ever had a guy?
There's a guy who has a baby deagle, which shoots.
What's a baby deagle?
It shoots 44 instead of 50.
Oh.
So it's just slightly smaller and.
It just looks dope.
Yeah. It looks nice, but good luck affording that ammo. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, right? It's like I'm gonna put a expensive ass bullet in this motherfucker here.
Yeah, like it's a novelty thing.
Yeah, carve your name in it.
Yeah, if you carry a deagle, you're the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say there's really no reason for that, other than some weird type of identity issues. So Sterling,
it comes out to like 290 feet per meters per second.
Dude. Are you shitting my fucking? Are you serious?
So, but what is the weight of a 45 caliber? So the mass of a 9mm is 7.5 grams, but I couldn't find the mass of a 45 caliber.
So the way I know that they're measured in grains, kind of like how diamonds are so small, you measure them in carats.
Okay.
Right. So bullets are measured in grain weights, and I don't know the ratio of grains to ounces or anything like that. 9mm the rounds I'm thinking of are 115 grains. Whereas 45 is probably like 150 or 160. But because it's the velocity that gets multiplied by itself, that larger number makes a much bigger difference. Which you understand that. This is for the people.
I just want to get it right.
Oh, my God.
He just wants to get it right, dude. He's fucking so deep right now, man. It's one of those things where it's like with this guy, dude, once he goes in, you can't really save him. He's got to save himself.
It's very heroic.
I guess.
So you said 150, so that works out to like 9.7 grams.
People are on the edge of their seats right now. Nobody knows what's going on, but they all want to know the outcome.
So 7-point-something grams versus 9 points.
Sterling went out of his way to challenge the guest in his own game, and now he better come up with the.
No, because the math is going to prove me right.
No, he better come up with the right math though. He better not fuck up the math.
Ooh, the math says I'm right. Don't check.
Don't stop right now. Yeah. Stop right now. If you just round the right to the right, then he's right. I feel like we need music for it.
Yeah,
like
he's right. He is right.
He's right.
I'm right.
He's right.
He's right.
He's got the guy fucking.
45 sucks. 1911s are overrated.
There you go.
Subscribe.
It's been scientifically proven.
Well,
we got to the bottom of it.
The kinetic energy is, so I got 9mm just standard specs here is going at, let me work out the units here.
Oh my
but
god.
You guys keep talking, I'll get the units right.
Someone's going to comment and be like, you got the grain weight wrong,
Dude,
you stupid bitch.
Hey, bro, you were off by a few grains.
Well, that'll change the whole fucking equation. That'll change everything.
Dude, you're off by a few grains, bro. I don't know. Sterling got it all wrong, too. His conversion from metric to...
This bitch.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you in joules anyways, because I don't know.
Now we're in joules.
No, that's how you measure energy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for putting it into something we can all relate to. Thanks for putting that in terms we can all understand. Sure appreciate that, dude.
I'll convert it after
He's
I get
running
it right.
the joules. Yeah, after he gets the thing.
After he runs the goddamn joules over here, dude.
You can't fuck around in the English system because the units get weird. The units just get...
No, I understand. Meters all the way. The fact that we didn't switch is garbage.
What kind of music do you get into?
I don't. I honestly, I listen to, like, classical music.
Okay. So just nothing in particular? You're not like a sit down and listen to some tunes guy?
If I'm doing chores or
you're like, well, I gave all my record players to third graders, so
yeah. And there's this group called the Piano Guys, which just takes popular songs and mashes them with some old Beethoven thing, and it's really good.
Okay.
But I listen to just like classical music. I listen to NPR.
Word.
All the
a lot
time.
of talking shit. I listen to a lot of talk.
And the classics, man.
I cracked Shelty. I was like, oh, what movies do you like listening to, dude? And he just like went off like he had an hour's worth of bands memorized.
Oh,
that
dude,
dude's
when
got
he
a
starts
fucking
talking about a
bank in there,
band,
man.
I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. But you know what he doesn't talk about music? When he's doing stand-up, which you'll find on Stone Grown Comedy.
Absolutely, dude. He just recorded his fucking second album,
Yeah,
right?
he did. His second one.
Yeah, dude.
And I also recorded one, which is on iTunes and Google Play.
What's it called again?
Kids' Birthday Parties.
Kids' Birthday Parties. It's all coming together now. Things are being revealed.
Yeah,
just to give you guys the final numbers, it was 1,000
Yes.
joules for a 9mm to about 800 joules for a 45.
45 fucking sucks.
So 9mm is just that much.
There's a 300 joule difference in energy.
No, 20% better.
200 joule difference.
Oh shit!
20% better.
Big time.
Is that what we're saying?
1,000 to 800. Yeah,
20% better.
20%. 20% more energy is hitting your target.
That's terms that we can all understand there.
I want you to take that 20%.
The 9mm hits 20% harder than a 45.
It's just been proven.
And
on
it's been scientifically proven for literally
on serious
no reason.
Bullshit.
On serious bullshit. Serious. By the Horsetooth Stirs over here, fucking 2017.
Oh, Horsetooth. Whoa, shots fired.
What's that? What is it?
9 mil, Horsetooth.
What is it? What's Horsetooth? It's on your shirt.
You calling me Horsetooth?
What are you talking about, dude? What the fuck? That'd be a random insult.
Chicago.
I was like, wow. No, it's a reservoir. I did a swim. I won it.
Ah, fuck. You won it?
Yep. Well, I won.
You never told us.
Yeah, dude, because we don't talk about these things.
What? You're supposed to bring them up. I don't know. Hey, have you won any swims lately? What kind of fucking question is that, dude? I don't know. Tell me about that shit.
Do I look like Michael Phelps?
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know anybody that wins swims.
Now you do. Actually, you did. You just didn't know.
No, well, he wins disc golf tournaments. He wins swims. The guy's just an underground athlete. He's not trying to tell anybody, but he's trying to, like, he's up and comer or something.
It says Aryan Jeans.
It says Aryan Jeans, showing everybody what the deal is, man.
There's way better swimmers than me. They just weren't swimming in my category.
So
I swam the wetsuit.
So you won the reservoir?
Oh, you pussy. Swimming wetsuit.
Swimming
with a
wetsuit?
fucking wetsuit.
You swimming a wetsuit on?
Yeah. Still won.
Oh, neoprene ass motherfucker, dude.
Bruh.
Rocking a goddamn.
I only swam 1.2 miles instead of 2.4. I could have done the 2.4. There's also a 10K. I mean, those guys
could have done that. Could have done that.
But you
could have done the 10K swim.
So really, you just did half of what the whole thing was? It was like a triathlon or something? What was the
No, they just had a 10K, a 2.4 mile, a 1.2 mile, and then they had youth swims.
It's only swim though?
Yeah, it's
only
just a swim-atician.
So what's your end goal of swimming, dude? You just he's just like a
swim is just the shit. You just get in there, you get wet. Yeah, you swim and then you feel good.
Water.
You just get in there, you get wet. Yeah, me too.
You feel good after you do it. I love swimming.
I used to love swimming a lot. I guess I would love it more if I
gets my nut, dude.
Pool or something.
Not everything gets my nut, but
I guess your nut. Those pools, pools freak me out, dude. I just picture like an asshole spreading open and closing while
I can't even watch
water
like
flushing in and out like the filter.
I can't even watch like a clip of Jaws and get in a pool. I'm just like, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
You get freaked out by it?
Yeah, just the clip.
Those chlorine sharks, dude. You gotta watch out for them.
Yeah, the weirdest thing, the clip. It's when they're all having that meeting in the town hall. It has nothing to do with the shark. Just that thing.
Just that town hall freaks me out.
Yeah, just when he scratches on the thing, I'm like, I don't need water in my life.
Just that did it for me. They didn't have to show water, and
yeah, he's in a boat. He's in water. I'm scared now.
I'm horrified. All right, guys, let's wrap this shit. I'm gonna take a piss. We just did fucking like 3 hours almost here.
It was important, and you should subscribe.
Yeah, check out Stone Grown Comedy.
Yeah, we have a Facebook
page
and a YouTube page, and kids' birthday parties on iTunes or Google Play.
When we solving more bullet problems in the future, you're gonna want to tune in for those.
We're gonna solve any more bullet math.
38 special versus 38 super. What the fuck's the difference?
What's going on next week on Bullet Talk? Right after Cookie Talk podcast.
Yeah, I'll be baking
on Base Scriptures Podcast Network.
Chips.
All right, guys, that's been serious bullshit. Come if you're hearing this, check me out tomorrow night at Got Rocks. I'm doing 12 minutes, and it should be hilarious. Fucking.
I don't know what to point.
And I'm not good at doing fucking promotions, so check out my website, basescriptures.com.
Yeah.
All that shit. Check out fucking Andrew Locklair. Do some comedy.
Yes.
Dude's fucking funny. I'm vouching for him.
Yes.
Very much enjoy watching him. What's up, Stirs? What'd you say?
That came from.
I just said thanks for Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You've been great.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
you
thanks
guys
for fucking
are
hanging out
just
for a long time.
Most delightfuliest people.
Aw. Give us one more German Canadian.
Oh God! So there I was.
Oh, that was pretty close. That was good, dude.
Oh God! Just if there's a thing that a Kraut loves, it's just reviving old racism.
Kraut sounds racist against Germans. I don't know why. It's not offensive, but it sounds like it should be.
Well, clearly I'm not from the area.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. Fucking serious bullshit. We're signing off. Good night, everybody. Holla.